After they left, a figure came out of the neighborhood and went directly to the snake. He took out the snake and looked at it carefully. Then he put it into his mouth and took a big bite. You don't know how to enjoy the delicious snake meat because it stinks. The mysterious man made complaints about the direction of the blood corpse, and the snake's meat is in his mouth. Well, I can't believe it's delicious. This cloud dance has this kind of craftsmanship. I made a lot of money this time. At the thought of a large snake meat Yunwoo promised him, Shwani Man felt that his saliva seemed to flow down again. 3 or 2 will finish eating the snake meat. Shwani Man touched his stomach, some meaning. I'm full. Now it's time to help. I don't know what you've done. The next thing is not so easy to solve. When the moon is dark and the wind is high, killing and setting fire. The black fire beat and burned several corpses on the ground to ashes. Yunwoo raised a sneer and left here. Third base done. The wind at night is very refreshing. Cloud dance doesn't mean to be tired at all. On the contrary, it's very comfortable to be blown by the wind and goes directly to the 4th stronghold. In order to move in the forest, Yunwoo changed into a tight black suit. At this time, shuttling through the forest, like a vigorous cheetah, the action is swift and violent, like entering the uninhabited land here. The black flame broadsword waved again and sent these long-dead human beings to reincarnation. In Yunwoo's opinion, it's better to die as soon as possible, rather than become such a ghost, blinding the mind and becoming a bloody corpse who can only eat. In the mountain palace, there are more and more white runes, and more powerful people are sent out. Yunwoo knows her situation, but she is not afraid. On the contrary, she speeds up and more blood corpses die in her hands. Another night later, half of the 4th stronghold had been destroyed. Seeing that the sky had changed a little, the cloud danced away to find a safe place for temporary cultivation. But don't want to, just left a distance, was blocked by a shadow. Yunwoo frowned and looked at the smiling man in front of him. He didn't know what to say. Do you keep your promise? Shwani Man's sea cloud dance has been silent. No one to let her first mouth is impossible, so had to get close to some, licking face asked. Yunwoo was stunned. He felt that this man was a wonderful flower. No matter what price he paid for persistent things, he didn't hesitate. He took out a piece of roasted snake meat from his personal space and threw it away. The man in Shwani catches it and opens it. He can't help flashing a loss on his face. It's roasted. I thought you would bake it for me now. After that, he took a look at the cloud dance. Cloud dance helpless, is preparing to say some words to send him. See Shwani Man directly put away the snake meat and close some. Looking at Yunwoo mysteriously, he asked, if I do you another favor, how about you bake me a set snake meat by yourself? Cloud dance some surprised looked at him. What do you want to help me? Shwani Man's mouth a hook, mysterious said, of course, it's good for you, and it's very good. Cloud dance frowned at him, waiting for him to say the following, Clinker Shwani Man this time mouth is tight a lot. No matter how Cloud Dance doesn't speak, he just doesn't say it. Instead he says, don't worry. No matter how you ask me, I won't let you know in advance, but it's definitely good for you. Cloud Dance is all ears. Now they send out more and more experts, and you will face more and more other strongholds. As far as I know, there are other forces in the blood corpse area, and they will not interfere in it. The man in Shwani's analysis is right. Yunwoo doesn't say a word, but she knows what he said is right. She already knows the so-called other forces. Who else is there besides the Beast Gate? So next, you have to face all kinds of dangers. And I have a way to help you solve this danger, and you will know how to solve it. I need 3 days. In these 3 days, you'd better find a place to hide and stop going deeper. After 3 days, I promise that even if they all come, you don't have to worry, and my reward is as long as you cook a fresh snake meat for me. How about that? Cloud Dance suspicious looking at him, eyes full of don't believe. There is such a good thing? Shwani Man saw Yunwoo's look. I don't need to hurt you, even for snake meat, don't I? And if you go deeper in these 3 days, they will catch up with you as soon as tomorrow. When your whereabouts are revealed, do you think you can survive? At least you'll be seriously injured, right? Cloud Dance hesitated for a moment, finally nodded. Okay, Then you go. Schwani Man nodded with satisfaction and said, I'll wait for you near the fourth stronghold 3 days later. Remember that the snake meat should be fresh and the roast degree should be just right. After that, the man in Schwani left with a smile, and looking at the direction he left, it turned out to be the direction of the entrance. Is he going to leave the bloody corpse? The idea flashed in Yunwoo's heart, but then he directly left it behind. Do you really want to promise him? Don't forget, his origin is too mysterious, and it's to send flowers of rattan and help you. I always feel that I shouldn't trust him too much. The voice of black pride rings out in the sea of knowledge, reminding Yunwoo not to trust others easily. The cloud dances a corner of the mouth to hook, in the eyes flash bright light. Let me listen to his words, completely believe that he is naturally impossible. But if he can really help me, it's a good thing. What do you want to do? He asked. Cloud Dance turned to leave and said softly, the soldiers are divided into 2 ways, fighting for each other. In the endless desert, scattered withered grass is distributed on the ground, which not only does not add vitality to the place, but also makes it more desolate. Mengbai gasps and sits on the ground. He grabs a dead fox in his hand. With a sharp blade in his hand, he cuts the fox's neck, and the blood flows out instantly. Mengbai frowned, put his mouth together and sucked. Sand Fox's body slowly becomes shriveled, until there is no blood flow out. Mengbai finally let go, and will Sand Fox's body clean up, separated food and clothing. This just stopped. It's only a moment before the temperature drops as the sky gets darker and darker. Mengbai draped the processed sand fox skin on his body and looked at the distance with a pair of eyes. Where you can see it, it is full of desert, and all the plants you can see are withered yellow. Half a month ago, he was transported here. No one spoke. He took the only food and water on the road to find a companion, but there has been no news, even don't know where he is. Later, there was no food or water on the body, so we had to kill some warcraft, drink blood and eat meat. There is a big temperature difference between day and night in the desert, and there are few people. In the past 10 days, he has only passed through a small tribe. The tribe also lived in the desert for a long time and had no contact with the outside world, so Mengbai could not provide any information for him, so he had to continue to find his companions in his own way. Yellow is everywhere in the desert. Under the sand on the ground, there are some swarms of warcraft from time to time. The attack power is not strong, but there are many. Mengbai once met several waves and almost died there. Along the way, his strength was enhanced a lot because of this experience. I don't know what happened to them. If they fall in this place, how can they miss it? Mengbai looked at the sky and murmured, it's better to be in a better place. It's better not to be chased by the beast gate. It's better to I can see you soon. In another desert, it's obvious that Mengbai's prayer didn't come true, because there are others who are very similar to him. Chi night toward the distance of an oasis, although already know may be a mirage, but still toward that direction. In this boundless desert, even a mirage is better than a confused one without a goal. Speed to the extreme, Chi Knight did not even notice that he accidentally broke into a group of Warcraft territory. Inadvertently stepped on a pile of sand, the body suddenly sank down. Chi was so surprised that he turned up and flew into the air. Looking down, he saw that the place he had just stepped on had become quicksand. How could that be? Chi Yi's frowned and said, if there is quicksand here, I'm afraid it will be found long ago. How could it not appear until she stepped on it? And the place she stepped on just now is the trachoma center of the whole quicksand. The next moment, Chi Yi suddenly heard the sound of zigzagser coming from this quiet desert, as if something was close to this place, which made people feel goosebumps just listening. Almost out of the instinct of the dangerous reaction, Chi Yi's entered the fighting state without hesitation. A bright red dress, extremely dazzling, sharp snake sword appeared in the hands, vigilant looking around. Suddenly, just as Chi Yi's was ready, a shadow rushed directly from behind Chi Yi's, and the tail needle with cold light stabbed Chi Yi's directly. Brush! Chi's shadow flashed in the night. He waved the snake sword in his hand and threw the needle to one side. Then he stabbed the black shadow with an impolite sword, and, Pooh stabbed the shadow directly. It was not until then that Cheese found out that the one who attacked him was a scorpion about the size of a 4 or 5-year-old human. The scorpion who was pierced by himself twisted his body on the ground powerlessly and then died completely. However, Cheese didn't mean to relax at all. How could she not know that scorpions in the desert are all social animals? As if to confirm her conjecture, the knowing rate voice became more and more obvious, as if it could cover all the other voices. Just listen to the sound, you can know that the number of no less than 100 or even more. Chiye's eyes were cold. He knew that he was surrounded by scorpions when he heard the voice. But even if she knew, she didn't dare to move, because as long as she moved, all the scorpions would be killed. At that time, they would be at a loss. It's better to be on full alert to guard against their attack at any time. This kind of scorpion lives in the desert and hides in the sand, so it is called sand scorpion. A medium-sized warcraft, ordinary sand scorpion and 4 or 5-year-old children are the same size, but each sand scorpion family will have a sand scorpion king. The size can be comparable to adults. Moreover, compared with those scorpions who can only attack with tail needles, Sand Scorpion King is able to draw quicksand. If there is no wrong guess, I'm afraid that the quicksand was just made by the king of Sand Scorpion. Chi Knight carefully observed the surroundings. Once which direction had changed, he could feel it for the first time. Sure enough, after the knowing rate voice got closer and closer, all of a sudden it stopped. At this moment, Chi Knight is more sure that there is a king of Sand Scorpion among the sand scorpions hidden under the sand. Whoosh dash, Chi Yi's, out of instinct, held the snake sword directly behind him. Bang! Unexpectedly, and that is suffused with the cold light of the end of the needle collision sparks. Whoosh dash, whoosh, whoosh dash, one by one, the shadows kept flying out from under the sand layer and directly rushed to Chi Knight in the air. A sharp tail needle inserted in the black shadow, toward the middle of the red shadow of all thorn. Above the desert, the sand scorpions are no longer even hidden. Originally far away from the sand scorpion as if afraid of food in general, in a hurry out of the sand, fast toward Chi Knight to climb, the tail of the needle raised high, as if to publicize their power. Chi Yi's face sank, and the snake sword in his hand kept dancing. A clear voice resounded through the desert. There was a black shadow falling from the air, and soon he was eaten by his own kind. But even so, there are still sand scorpions rushing up, as if endless. The blood corpse field on the top of the volcano, the cloud dance is hidden by the black pride, the breath, frowning and hiding in a corner, listening to the voice of people coming and going outside. As expected, it was the same as what the man in Schwani said. Since he left, there were more and more blood corpses in the stronghold. In fact, not long after the first wave of experts came out, there were more and more experts. Just recently, I don't know why. Suddenly, there are 10,000 beast men. They form a patrol team together with blood corpses and protect the stronghold very well. Even Cloud Dance, it is difficult to kill a team without disturbing other blood corpses. Not only that, these teams are no longer limited to strongholds. With the participation of the 10,000 beast men, their manpower has greatly increased. Many places that could not be searched before can now be safely searched. It seems that he doesn't want to be passive anymore, so he takes the initiative instead and is bound to kill Yunwu. Well, no wonder he said I should find a place to hide. Cloud Dance frowned and said, I'm afraid the man in Schwani had expected this situation for a long time, so he told her to wait for her in 3 days. Is it possible today? Mama, his strength is so strong, let me help you. The sound of small stink in the space spread to the ears of Cloud Dance, and even faintly want to rush out. I want to help too. You can't beat him just by going there. Red Fire Dragon's voice sounded, with a touch of firmness, no doubt. And me, I'm going too. Shiding said immediately. Lan Yu and Bai Shuer naturally want to fight. Even Jinling's breath had some fluctuations. Although he didn't say anything, Yunwu could feel his emotion and wanted to help himself. Cloud Dance in the heart of a while moved, but did not let them out. You know, in front of her, but Shangwen's Hong. Moreover, if there is too much noise to attract more people, it will be impossible to get away. However, it would be difficult for her to face Shanggunsong alone. A touch of dignified flashed in Yunwoo's heart. At this time, Shanggunsong suddenly said, "Before you die, give full play to all your strength. I'd like to see how strong you are in the period after you escaped from me. You can rest assured that no matter how much noise you make, your enemy in this battle is only me." After hearing this, Cloud Dance gave a cold smile and said, "You are too arrogant." But he was relieved. It seemed that Shanggunsong wanted to kill her, so he gave the order ahead of time. In that case, she doesn't have to reserve any more. It won't be long before you know if you are arrogant. Come on, give full play to your strength. Let me have a good look, Shanggunsong said with a sneer. But there was a chill in the deep eyes, as if the Cloud Dance was just a little grasshopper. No matter how to hop, it would not cause much storm. Cloud Dance sneered, "In that case, I'm not polite." You all heard it. Come out, drink it. The dazzling light is shining in the dark, and the silver summoning array is flashing from the foot of Cloud Dance, rising a little bit. In the dazzling light, a summoned beast appeared only in its own prototype, each with a very powerful atmosphere. There was a trace of emotion in Shanggunsong's eyes, but he was not too surprised. On the contrary, he seemed to comment on it and said faintly, "Originally, he has reached Emperor Wu, and the hybrids of fire system have evolved into pure-blood demon Huang? Ice Solo and Wood?" Cloud Dance's eyes, slightly heavy, did not expect Shanggunsong just a glance to see out. Suddenly, he became more alert to Shanggunsong. The light is gone, and all the little friends who can fight here have arrived. Today, they are facing the biggest crisis in history, but neither Yunwoo nor her summoners have the intention to step back. Looking at Shanggunsong, they are full of war. Since fighting is inevitable, there is only one word: fight. The black flame sword is clenched in Yunwoo's hand, and the black flame is beating restlessly, as if infected by Yunwoo's mood. It was early in the morning and the moon was sinking outside the valley, but it didn't make any difference to the people in the valley. Cloud Dance, without saying a word, left hand raised, fire elements and water elements hover in the palm. Then, Cloud Dance palms a grip, directly the two elements together, a two-color element ball directly toward Shanggunsong throw. In the face of Shanggunsong, she didn't have to try at all, but directly used a powerful attack, because in carelessness is a complete destruction. As if there is no energy in general, even the slide is light, but the speed is very fast. Cloud Dance then clenched the black flame sword and rushed to Shanggunsong. His purple fighting spirit condensed and wrapped himself in it. "Little stink, go to the back." Lanyul. Everybody else, attack from the right. Cloud Dance cold voice command way, not afraid to be heard by Shanggunsong, directly to a few summoned beast made simple deployment. Yes, small stink. Several people repeatedly should weigh, quickly made the action. But Shanggunsong still stood there without any reaction. He didn't raise his hand until the two-color elemental ball came near. It seemed that he was careless, and the black energy appeared in his palm. That black is purer and more powerful than Shangguan Li, but it doesn't leak out at all. The powerful energy can't be felt by the summoners and Yunwoo around him, that always wanted to conquer the element ball, in front of Shanggunsong, like an unreasonable child. Shanggunsong's hand moved gently, and the black energy went directly into the two-color ball. But in a moment, the ball was broken down and re-transformed into two elements. It seemed as if it had been a long time. In fact, it was only a moment for Shanggunsong to do this action. It was not until he solved the elemental ball that Yunwoo had just arrived at his side. Yunwoo was surprised. The Shanggunsong surprised him too much. He always knew that he was powerful. However, did not expect to be able to be strong to this point. Move your fingers will be a powerful attack directly disintegrated. Cloud Dance only feels that the pressure is doubled in a moment, but even so, it will not give up. Once you step back, you will die. There is still hope to live. Well, it's a trick to carve insects. The sound of Shanggunsong sounded, as if close to my ears, with a strong irony. But in an instant, Yunwoo went directly to Shanggunsong's body, and the black flame sword in his hand cut the head of Shanggunsong impolitely. At the same time, the rear, the left, the right, the attacks of the summoners all came, surrounded the Shangwenzhong. Shangwenzhong's body did not move. He let the attack come, but before it fell on him, he was surrounded by a black energy, like a golden bell, which protected him. The black flame sword of Cloud Dance attacks and ascends. Bang on the black shield. Yunwu only felt that his attack seemed to be cut on the bronze where, shaking his arm numb, but it had no effect, and the black flame eroded away. The flame, which had never been disadvantageous, was stuck with the black energy at this time. It was difficult to separate up and down, and no one would let anyone. Moreover, the dark flame was suppressed. Yunwu's face sank in a moment, and the attack of other summoners was the same. As if in front of the black energy shield, they are just a group of crazy children, no matter how noisy, can't lift the storm. What? Is that the only ability? Shangwenzhong's sarcastic voice came out from inside, and he looked at Yunwu's eyes very jokingly. If you only have such a little ability, it's really a pity. Lan Yu, freeze him. Cloud Dance's facial expression instantly sank down. Toward the blue Yu of the other side, shout away. Good. The blue Yu immediately answered, The blue water element gushes out directly, the black protective cover is wrapped inside, but instantly the protective cover is frozen inside. The power of ice cold constantly infiltrates into it. I want to freeze the Shangwenzhong inside. The black flame sword on Cloud Dance's hand is raised, and several other summoning beasts are ready one after another. When the cold air completely frozen Shangwenzhong, several people's attacks fell on the ice hockey. Just now, there was no effective attack. It seemed that I met the gospel and broke the ice hockey directly. Little Stinky exclaimed excitedly. Great, Mama, it works. Finally, we can kill this villain. Little Stinky exclaimed excitedly. Cloud Dance eyes a joy, but then again cooled down. Little Stinky's cheers stopped abruptly. Click. The ice hockey was broken under the gap, a black light shining out, as if out of the general shell, more and more rich. Cloud Dance in the heart of a surprised, quickly shout, flash. Several summoned beasts instantly found something wrong, and quickly backed back. Boom. Just as they retreated, the ice hockey exploded completely, and the black energy was overwhelming. Cloud Dance hastily urged more fighting spirit, continuously retreated a long distance, and finally stopped. I saw that after the black energy was recovered, Shangwenzhong was still standing in the same place as before, as if he had not participated in the battle just now, with a sneer on his lips. It's interesting, but it's not enough. Cloud Dance smell speech, the facial expression is very ugly. Although I know Shangwenzhong's strength is strong, the attack just now won't kill him at all, but I didn't expect that there was no damage at all. She broke through Emperor Wu, but she still couldn't hurt him? Is it really necessary to gather together the 4 natural forces and the holy things of the Witch clan to destroy him? Is there any other move? Make it out as soon as possible, or there will be no chance. Shangwenzhong said with a sneer. Don't worry. Cloud Dance coldly said, no matter how stormy the heart, but always a calm face. I'll let you see it slowly, but are you going to keep on defending? Shangwenzhong looked at Yunwu and said, Do you want to fight with me? The Cloud Dances the corner of the mouth to outline, smile not smile, way. If go on like this all the time, fight also have no meaning. Since you are strong, you might as well fight with us. In fact, instead of being passive at this time, it's better to explore his bottom line first. Shangwenzhong Mouthhook said, Yes, have courage, then I will meet your requirements. Cloud Dance looked at him, but found that he said this sentence after still no action, cannot help but frown. What? You want me to do my best against you? You really don't have that qualification. Shangwenzhong saw Yunwu's idea and said sarcastically, You don't have the qualification to let me use weapons. You won't have that qualification until you can tie me bare-handed with weapons. Looking at Shangwenzhong's arrogant face, it seems that it's easy to deal with her. There is no wave in Yunwu's eyes. He even thinks, it's better to be more arrogant and be able to resist the attack directly with his body. The black flame big knife raises, the Cloud Dances coldly to say, Good, Then see if I have qualifications. Let's talk about it. I'll attack Shanggunsong again. The black flame was beating, and he cut off the neck of Shanggunsong with a tricky angle, as if to deal with the blood corpses, to cut off his neck. Shanggunsong's body moves. He no longer uses black energy to defend as before. On the contrary, when he starts, he cuts a hand knife at the back neck of the cloud dancing with his backhand. It seems that he will attack wherever he wants Yunwoo to hit him. Small stinks several people also quickly come up. The huge size to deal with and cloud dance entangled in Shanggunsong is very inconvenient, so several people have turned into human shape, also in Shanggunsong close combat. Who cloud dance just feel cold behind the neck, quickly get out of the way, speed to the extreme. In the face of Shanggunsong, who has not done his best, at least the speed is barely right. But Yunwoo knew that if Shanggunsong did his best, he was afraid that he couldn't escape the attack. He said that it was because the other side looked down on her. Aware of this, Yunwoo was happy and sarcastic. If she can escape safely after today, she will redouble her efforts to cultivate. One day, she will destroy him with her own hands. Brush. Bang bang. Several people in the air war in full swing, but a moment to fight a dozen moves. With the help of Xiaolukako, they can barely cope with Shanggunsong, but the pressure always exists, making them feel like pets teased by Shanggunsong. However, after a long time, there were some small wounds on Yunwoo's body, but Shanggunsong was not affected at all. It can't go on like this. Yunwoo is aware of this. If she delays any longer, her physical strength will be exhausted. At that time, she will not be able to fight Shanggunsong. She must find a way to get away first. There is a long way to go. She doesn't have to solve Shanggunsong today. Thinking of this, Yunwoo immediately made a decision in her heart. Shua. The black flame broadsword on the hand uses all one's strength to cut toward the chest of Shanggunsong. And Shanggunsong clapped the same palm on Yunwoo's chest, as if he wanted to force her to take back the attack, otherwise it would hurt her a lot. If it had been before, Yunwoo would have flashed, but when she realized that the current situation must be changed, Yunwoo made up her mind not to flash. Once you get out of the way, you will fall into the rhythm of Shanggunsong again. You can only follow his way. At that time, I'm afraid we will be doomed. Yunwoo's eyes were filled with rage. The black flame sword in his hand was not withdrawn, but the black flame on it was more cheerful. He even took a touch of tyranny with him and cut it hard towards Shanggunsong's chest. Shanggunsong didn't expect that Yunwoo's attack suddenly changed the way. It was too late to get away. The black flame sword cut it directly. Shanggunsong quickly tried to use the black energy to resist, but it was still slow. The black flame dagger goes deep into Shanggunsong's body. But before entering, Shanggunsong changed the angle, and the distance from the heart was 1 millisecond after all. At the same time, from the back, left, right, different attacks directly attacked, all fell on Shanggunsong. Shanggunsong's eyes were cold. It seems that I can't underestimate you. At the end of the speech, the palm of the hand is directly toward Yunwoo's chest. Of a cloud dance body a meal, and then a mouthful of blood, poof chi, of vomit, directly backward fly out. Bang! Fly out of the body, directly hit a tree behind, and then heavy toward the ground. But in the middle of it, Yunwoo directly reached out and grabbed a branch, turned it over again and stood on the tree. Mama, are you okay? Little Stinky is the first one to run to Yunwoo and asks anxiously. Nothing. The cloud dance suppresses the blood gas that the chest continuously turns to gush, erases the blood of the corner of the mouth, sneers at the upper official grave. It's hard to see Shanggunsong at this time. After being slashed by Yunwoo, he was attacked by several other summoning beasts in succession. It wouldn't be so bad under normal circumstances, but he was arrogant all the time and didn't have any defense. He took those attacks directly with his body. Now he is in a bit of a mess. Although he is not seriously injured, he is also very uncomfortable. Shanggunsong looks at Yunwoo with a gloomy face. Although he is immortal, he did not expect that Yunwoo could hurt him at this time. If it goes on like this, it's hard to guarantee that she won't be bad one day. You hurt me by playing smart. Shangwen's said coldly, looking at Yunwu. What about smart? I hurt you at last, and it's worth it, Cloud Dance rebutted impolitely. Next, there will be more opportunities to hurt you. Shangwen's face sank and said with a sneer, Continue to hurt me? Look at you now. It's hard just to stand, isn't it? Do you want to hurt me? Yunwu leaned weakly against the tree trunk, as if she had exhausted all her strength just standing on the branch, and the summoners around her surrounded her in the middle. I'm weak, but I still have friends. As soon as the voice of Cloud Dance falls, little Stink has sprung up. A dazzling flash of light, golden sacred color seems to be able to destroy all this darkness. A golden phoenix bathes in fire, and the mouth of the beast is like a piece of fire. The bright red flame sweeps toward Shangwen's. With overwhelming power, it wants to swallow him in the sea of fire. Shangwen's sneered. It seems that the previous losses made him have a long memory. This time, it is no longer as exaggerated as before. Black energy emerges, enveloping the body and swallowing the red flame. However, just when he thought that the red flame was just like the black flame of clouds, he suddenly found that the hot and high temperature of the red flame was not what he could resist. This is... There was a flash of surprise in Shangwen's eyes. But the surprise soon subsided. Later, the black color of Shangwen's became more intense. After Shangwen's really exerted its strength, the red flame, which used to be overwhelming, was finally no closer. Fire is a good fire, but its strength is too poor to exert all its power. Shangwen's coldly said, and then looked at the small stinky eyes a little more salivation. Phoenix failed, but if I catch you, it is enough to make up for the failure. Small stinky smell heard Shangwen's words. Immediately the beast eye a stare, proud said, Bah! You want me? You must be dreaming. Think about how you're going to get out of here first. Shangwen's laughed angrily. How can I get away? I'm afraid that's what you should think, right? Can you get out of here alive? Little Stinky looked at him with disgust, as if looking at an idiot. Shangwen's read the irony from the beast's eyes, and his heart was angry. Clinker, at this time, a colorful element ball directly towards the head of Shangwen's smashed down. The red flame made the best cover for the colorful ball. In the light of the fire, Shangwen's didn't find the existence of the colorful ball at all. By the time he saw the sliding ball, it was too late. It seems that the light element ball falls on the black fog around Shangwen's. Boom! In an instant, the 5 elements exploded directly, setting off a hurricane, with a huge impact on Shangwen's. Hurricane has become the biggest power of pure yang. Instant pure yang blow bigger. A raging fire touched the nearby forest will be out of control. Little Stink didn't mean to control the fire at all. Instead, he added a fire from time to time. Go Cloud Dance saw Shangwen's was blocked by the bright red fire, and quickly took back several summoning beasts. Then, he jumped directly on Jinling's back. Let's go! With a command, Jinling flies to the distance with Yunwu. As long as she leaves here, she will have a way behind him. Shangwen's was hit by the 5-color element ball, and his whole body was wrapped by the hot pure yang. Although he temporarily mobilized the black energy to resist, he was injured because he was in a hurry and didn't prepare. The black shield was directly broken almost at the moment of appearance. Poo 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 poo. Shangwen's fell heavily from the sky, and the black energy around him wrapped him tightly, so that pure yang could not hurt him. But the scorching heat seemed to burn his soul, which was very uncomfortable. Claudius. Shangwen's stood up from the ground, gnashing his teeth and spitting out 2 words. There was a surge of qi and blood in the chest. Shangwen's knew that he was not seriously injured, but he didn't expect that the leader of the 10,000 Beast sect would be hurt by a younger generation, and she ran away again. If he had not taken it lightly, how could he have come to this point? The lion fought the rabbit with all his strength, but he gave up his defense because of a few words of Yunwu. He is too proud of this. Shangwen's eyes are cold. This Cloud Dance must be killed. The blazing fire is like a lighthouse on the sea, reflecting the sky red in the dark blood corpse field all day long. When Shangwen's Hong was separated from the sea of fire, there was no cloud dancing. Up to this time, none of the subordinates who got his orders really came. Shangwen's Hong's face was deeper, but he forgot that it was he who didn't let those people interfere. When I arrived at the place where my people gathered, I saw many beast men and blood corpses gathered together and looked curiously towards the fire. Seeing Shangwen's Hong appear, people's eyes can't help showing a look of surprise. There is no other reason, just because Shangwen's Hong is in a mess at this time. In the heart of the Beast Gate, I have never seen Shangwen's Hong in such a mess. I can't help but wonder if it is the human who has suffered a loss? Feeling the sight of his subordinates, Shangwen's Hong didn't give any more gas. He roared, "Go and search for me. Search all over the blood corpse field, and get that human back to me." All the people of the Beast Gate trembled and said, "Yes." In the blood corpse ground, the atmosphere suddenly became tense. Deep in the forest, pure yang is constantly burning. Although there is enough moisture in the forest, it is the forest after all. Under the fire, it soon spreads to the territory of blood corpse. Shangwen's Hong looked coldly at the more and more fierce fire, hesitated for a moment, and finally put out the fire. Fortunately, the strength of Cloud Dance is not strong. If it is stronger, the fire power of her summoner will go up to a higher level. At that time, even he may not be able to destroy it. The more so, the more deeply Shangwen's Hong's intention of killing is. Yunwu must not live beyond today. In the blood corpse field, people from both the blood corpse and the Beast Gate blocked the entrance one after another to prevent the cloud from leaving at any time. In the forest, almost all personnel were mobilized to search for the seriously injured Yunwu. When Jin Ling flies to a place where there are no people, he will not continue to fly, lest he is too big to be found easily. Yunwu was the only one left. He persisted until near the fourth stronghold, and finally found a place to hide. It looks like they're going to make a big move. Cloud Dance listened to the outside movement, Frown said. I kept thinking about how I could get away. If I left the blood corpse field now, I don't know if I could leave without disturbing the Beast Gate. Let's have a rest first. Your injury is so serious that it's useless to think more about it. The voice of Black Pride rings out in the sea of knowledge, and at the same time, she hides her breath. Yunwu nodded, sat down cross-legged, took another pill, and then entered the cultivation state. Don't see don't know, at this time into the cultivation state Cloud Dance, just found that his body's breath has become a mess. Shangwen's Hong's palm was directly patted on her chest. The veins in her body were serious. If not treated in time, I'm afraid it will leave hidden dangers. Damn it. Cloud Dance dare not delay, immediately for their own simple treatment up. Nowadays, the search efforts and efficiency of those people outside are greatly enhanced, and this place is not safe. She must seize all the time to adjust her state to the best. Little by little, the sky outside the forest has turned white, but it is still as dark as night in the blood corpse field. Not far from the blood corpse, a group of huge flying warcraft are flying in the air. Hundreds of people are standing on each warcraft. Their goal is only one blood corpse. On the first warcraft, a man in black standing in the front frowned and urged the crowd to hurry up. Although he didn't know the way of doing things of Yunwu, he knew from just a few conversations that Yunwu would not trust others easily. He asked her to wait for her for 3 days, but I'm afraid she would not wait at all. If she acted privately in 3 days, I'm afraid the situation is absolutely not optimistic. Thinking of this, the man in Schwani turned his head to a man behind him again and said, "Hurry up. I have friends in it. It may be dangerous if I go late." The man looked at the man in Schwani and nodded. At the foot of the flying warcraft, speed instantly accelerated some toward the blood corpse to fly. Master Mu, I don't know what you said is true. We all know the horror of the blood corpse. If what you say is false, then we are likely to be wiped out. On one side, another man came to the Schwani man and asked. There was a faint worry and expectation between his eyebrows. He looked like the head of a tribe. Schwani man took a look at him, changed his previous style of laziness and laughter, and said seriously, Don't worry, what I said by Mu Xiaoming is not a lie. What I told you is true. Once again got the guarantee of Xuani Man, several tribal chiefs on the scene finally nodded at ease. I believe what Master Mu said. A rough and crazy man suddenly said, I believe that Master Mu will not cheat us. Don't forget that it's not only those things that are neither human nor ghost, but also the beast gate. It's not a pity that we have to cut to death. No matter whether it's a mountain of swords or a sea of fire, I'll be happy to do anything except those two evils. The man's words seemed to be in the hearts of the people present. They nodded one after another, and a touch of excitement flashed in their eyes. Yes. As long as you can get rid of them, you can pay any price. We can't stand them for a long time. It's better than that. That's right. If a leader appears, there will be countless supporters. Mu Xiaoming understood this very well. Looking at the passion of the people, he couldn't help nodding, but didn't say anything. Instead, he looked to the direction of the blood corpse. Now he is more worried about the safety of that person. In the blood corpse field, groups of blood corpses and beast men are looking for it carefully, little by little close to a huge stone. Where on earth did that man hide? So many of us have been looking for it little by little, but we haven't found it for so long. A man of 10,000 beasts complained to his companion. Do you think she has left here? So we're not looking for nothing? What do you know? We came in little by little from the entrance, so that we could go deep into the valley and never let go of any corner. How could she get out of such a search? Can she still hide from us? Another beast man said that he was proud of the idea, but he recommended it to Shangguanli. It's an honor to be adopted. That's true. The first one said, but what if she had left before we searched? The patriarch has said that she left on a big eagle. If she left, the guard at the door was so strict, would she not find it? Don't worry. The patriarch said that she would return to this stronghold. Don't worry. We just need to search carefully. As a result, the man of the beast sect who had just questioned did not continue to ask questions. He seriously began to search, not only on the ground, but also on the tree at any time to look up, so as not to hide in the clouds. There was more and more noise around. Yunwu listened to their conversation and opened his eyes instantly. Is the back road blocked? She can't get out of the blood? Yunwu frowned. Although she was dignified by the bad news, it was obvious that if she continued to hide here, she would be found. For today's sake, the most important thing is to find a safe place to continue breathing. There is still a long way to go for her to recover. Yunwu stood up from the ground, and suddenly his chest hurt. Yunwu bent down with a hum, and finally recovered after a long time. The injury is really not light, the Shangguanshong seems to be more severe. Cloud Dance frowned and said, My strength has been so much stronger than before. I thought I could deal with Shangguanshong, but I didn't expect that she would be seriously injured in the end. If she ran slower, I'm afraid she would die there. Someone's coming. Black proud timely voice reminder. Cloud Dance quickly held her breath to see. Sure enough, the scope of that search was closer. I'll help you cover up your breath. You should use space to avoid it first. Black AO said seriously. Cloud Dance nodded, can only be like this. Now her physical condition is not good, and she consumes a lot of space elements. I don't know what she will be like after using it, but this is the only way to do it. Go and search there. Don't let go of a corner. A black-robed man pointed to the huge stone where Yunwu was hiding and told the disciples. Yes. Several people took orders and quickly walked towards the boulder. Right now, the air of Cloud Dance changes slightly, hiding behind the huge stone, and dare not make any changes. The space elements are quickly mobilized, tearing out a small space crack. Cloud Dance figure a flash, directly drilled into. All restore calm. At this time, that several 10,000 beast men have arrived here, began to search carefully. That human is really able to hide. We can't find it in such a search. Well, I don't know when it's going to be the first time. While there was no one in charge around, a beast man complained and said, It's obviously the blood corpse business. Why do we have to come? It's really troublesome. Keep your voice down. The Lord is in a bad mood now. If you don't listen carefully, you will die. Another doorman said quickly, and glanced carefully at the supervisor in the distance. It said that the patriarch had a fight with that human, but he didn't get any benefit at last? Is it true or not? What nonsense! Will the Lord lose? I tell you, the patriarch just suffered a little skin injury. He can definitely recover in one day. You can rest assured. After hearing this, the beast man finally put down his heart. I said, if it's more powerful than the Lord, you don't have to hide like this. Well, we're done. Let's go first. 2 beast men said this and left here. Until they go far away, the noise outside is much smaller, and the Cloud Dance comes out of the space. Cloud Dance's face is pale and frightening. It seems that it consumes a lot, but now it doesn't care so much. Just as he was about to see how the people outside were going, he suddenly heard a commotion. Come on. All gather at the entrance. There are people attacking in the blood corpse area. There are too many people. The blood corpse alone can't stand it. A messenger from the beast sect came in a hurry and yelled at the crowd. What? How dare anyone attack here? Someone exposed the weakness of the blood corpse, and all the people from different tribes outside came here. They heard that the members of the beast sect were here, and they said they would kill them together. The messenger quickly explained that his face was full of fear. It's always the beast gate that goes to encircle and suppress others. When will it be the turn for others to provoke the beast gate? What about the search? One asked. I don't care about the search. Do you want to die here? Not yet. Let's go. The hasty and disordered footstep gradually goes away, as if fleeing for life, leaving towards the distance. When Yunwu came out from behind the boulder with a pale face, there was no one outside. The corner of the mouth has a radian, and the eyes of Cloud Dance have a clear flash. That's what you said. At the entrance of the blood corpse field, a large number of figures poured into it. All the blood corpses and black-robed people they saw went up to chop directly. For a moment, the blood splashed and almost dyed the whole forest red. Kill the bloody corpses of these disgusting people and avenge our dead brothers. Kill them all. Let the blood corpse no longer exist in the world. Kill the people of the beast gate. Let them stop making trouble. All the people were shouting, fighting and killing, as if they knew the weakness of the blood corpses. They went up to find the place of the rune and told others after they found it. So in front of these people, the blood corpses had little resistance. Mu Xiaoming stood at a high place and looked at all this coldly. When he saw that the people of the beast gate died under the people's hands, his eyes flashed a touch of pleasure. Beast gate, one day, you will disappear from the world. Mu Xiaoming gritted his teeth and turned to fly to the deep forest. He doesn't care about the war outside. At this moment, he must find Yunwu as soon as possible. I don't know what's wrong with her now. It's a person who has put all his bets on. Nothing can happen. Yunwu did not take the opportunity to leave, but went deeper and deeper into the forest. Along the way, I met many blood corpses, but no one found her trace. A figure suddenly flashed by, and the cloud danced. The black flame sword appeared in his hand, and he was on high alert. When I saw the black figure turned around, I was relieved at last. Don't be so careful. Mu Xiaoming turns his head and says to Yunwu with a smile. Then his brows are tightly wrinkled. Cloud Dance ignore his words, hand black flame big knife away, said, promise your snake meat I will do, but now I still have things. With that, he set out again and headed for the deep. Just this time, Mu Xiaoming followed closely. You are so seriously injured now, eat this first, or I won't save you when something happens. Mu Xiaoming said, throwing a pill. His face seems to be quite painful, but I want it from others, it's cheap for you. Cloud Dance took a look and felt the strong power of the pill. Then she knew that the man in Xuani didn't cheat himself. This is really a good medicine. Also don't refuse, open mouth to eat down. Thank you, I will repay in the future. Under the pill, a pure force emanates from the pill, moistening the veins of the whole body. Cloud Dance only feel a warm current flow all over the body, instantly feel comfortable all over. Sure enough, who is a good medicine? The cloud dances in the heart to praise away. Will Xian dress man's kindness record in the heart? What's the mess out there now? Cloud Dance is the first to speak. Now we have been able to determine whether the man in Xuani is a friend or not, so we have more words. Hey. Mu Xiaoming chuckled and said, the blood corpse people are evil, so I told them where they died. Many tribes around here have enemies with him. As soon as my news is released, all of them will come to seek revenge. Look at the number. I'm afraid the 10 blood corpses may not be able to resist. Cloud Dance's eyes flashed a touch of surprise, turned to see a Xuani man, eyes more a point to explore. It is necessary to have a certain degree of prestige to gather so many people in the dead place where the bleeding corpse can be released in just 3 days. Otherwise, who will believe what you say? I didn't expect that this man had the ability to do this. Who is he? How's it going? Am I really good? Mu Xiaoming sees Cloud Dance's look, but directly chooses to play silly. Now he won't tell her his identity. Cloud Dance takes back his gaze. Since he doesn't want to say it, he won't ask. It's not too late to listen when he is willing to say it. Now she only needs to know that the man in black is not the enemy. 2 people have been moving towards the depths. No one asked each other why to go inside. A quiet, tacit understanding let them form a kind of cooperation. Soon he reached the deepest part of the forest. Looking at the entrance of the mountain palace, his eyes flickered. Now the whole Blood Corpse clan has suffered an unprecedented crisis, and all the ethnic groups who have been persecuted by the Blood Corpse clan have done their best to rush over. The strong of hundreds of tribes. There are few members of the Blood Corpse clan, otherwise there is no need to capture human beings back. As for the Beast Gate, those tribes are not furnishings. If one person can't do it, there will be a group of people. They dare not be distracted when the number of people is too large. I just don't know if there is anyone left in this mountain palace. How are you doing? Mu Xiaoming was the first to speak. The next thing is not to make a fuss outside. If it's found out, I can't take you away. Don't worry. Cloud Dance a corner of the mouth hook. This sun ability I still have. Mu Xiaoming nodded, looked at the entrance of the mountain palace, and said with a little cold, let's go. The mountain palace has always been the most heavily guarded existence in the whole Blood Corpse field. But recently, it was surprisingly clean. Except for some important places where blood corpses were still left to guard, all the other blood corpses went to the outside battlefield. It's so clean. Mu Xiaoming followed Cloud Dance and looked around carefully. Finally, he expressed a sigh. Even so, we can't be careless. Cloud Dance vigilantly looked around and said softly, it seems that this is a dark room where few people come. According to their previous experience, they just look inside the hall and even trigger the mechanism when they come in. I always think something's wrong here. Cloud Dance frowned and turned to ask Mu Xiaoming, do you feel it? Mu Xiaoming seldom looks serious. In this dark room, he always feels that there is a big secret hidden. Try the power of magic bite. Black proud voice in the sea of knowledge of Cloud Dance rings out, timely remind her. Cloud Dance lung, looked at aside, also looking around for whether there is a mechanism of Xuani man, after all, or nodded. The power of magic bite was mobilized, as if something was pulling her in a trance. Yunwu went straight to a wall and put his hand on it. At that moment, the power of magic bite seemed to be connected with the back of the wall. When Cloud's hand touched the wall, suddenly the position was shaking in the quiet dark room. What's the matter? Mu Xiaoming asked in a hurry, and immediately moved to Yunwu's side. What did you touch? Is it hurt? Yunwu shook his head, and his palm had already been taken back from the wall. Just now also ordinary one-side wall. Suddenly the light blooms. In the middle, a stone gate that only allows one person to pass through is slowly pushed open. With the opening of the stone gate, a strange smell comes to my face. Mu Xiaoming looked at everything in front of him. A flash of difference flashed through his eyes. He turned his head and looked at Yunwu. You are really unusual. You can find all of them. Cloud danced the corner of the mouth a hook. Luck, just. The stone gate is completely open, and inside is a long secret passage. On the stone walls on both sides of the secret passage are inlaid with many night pearls, which are snatched by blood corpses from all over the world for lighting. The secret road stretched out for tens of meters, and finally disappeared from the corner. Yunwoo is about to enter, but Mu Xiaoming suddenly reaches out his hand in front of her. "Wait, I'm in front." Then, without waiting for Yunwoo's reaction, he went directly into the secret passage. They walked in the secret road one by one. Although they didn't know where to go, Yunwoo felt that there was a feeling in the dark. "I'm afraid there is a big secret in the deep of this secret road." The intelligence quotient of the Blood Corpse clan is really not high. The secret road doesn't even have a fork. "Aren't you afraid that someone will break in?" Mu Xiaoming sighed. Tut. Although he said that, he didn't relax at all. No matter what time, they always maintain a very high vigilance. They finally reached the deepest part of the secret road, but when they reached the end, they were stunned. The end of the secret road is really the end, a wall blocked in front of them, there is no way forward. Mu Xiaoming was stunned for a moment. He turned to Yunwoo and said, "Come on, you try again." Before Yunwoo came to the wall as before, he put his hand on the wall. The power of the evil bite in the body is stimulated and echoes with the things inside. The next moment, as before, the light on the wall is generous, and a stone door opens slowly. Mu Xiao stares at all these things. "Tut," exclaims, "I really doubt if you are with the Blood Corpse clan. Their mechanism can be broken by you." Yunwoo is also very strange. It is reasonable that she has nothing to do with the Blood Corpse clan. But I don't know why. Every time I see the Blood Corpse, I feel bored, as if it is a natural hostility. But she can crack the mechanism of Blood Corpse. Cloud dance in the heart clear, those blood corpses open the method of the organ is absolutely not her such, just coincidentally she also can open just. The stone door opened, and they approached the stone door one after the other. Suddenly, they were enlightened. After the stone gate, a large stone room appeared in front of them. The area of the whole room can almost reach hundreds of square meters, and the roof above has the height of 4 floors. In the room, on the 4 walls, were chiseled out one by one of the cross platform. The above dense runes are suspended on the platform, with 3 colors of black, white, and red. In the time when Yunwoo came in, the runes changed from black to red and finally to white. At a glance, the whole room was full of runes. Yunwoo is naturally familiar with the runes. He once saw them when he killed those disgusting blood corpses. As long as the runes on the blood corpses are destroyed, those blood corpses will have no life. In the whole room, it was not the thousands of runes that attracted Yunwoo, but a huge pool in the middle of the room, in which the black water was calm, just like a pool of stagnant water. But there is a continuous black mist from which pool of water evaporation, toward those runes indoctrinated away, from time to time will be some red runes turn black again. This is... Yunwoo looked at everything in front of him in shock, as if he saw something incredible. At this time, the magic power in her body beat more happily, as if something excited her. Yunwoo barely suppressed it. How did you get here? Don't you know you're not allowed in here? Believe it or not, I will tell the king to put you to death. Violent voice suddenly sounded in the room, incomparably angry. Cloud dance 2 people turn head, 3 people line of sight opposite, at the same time stunned. Human. Blood corpse. The 3 said in one voice. Almost instantaneously, the black flame sword on Cloud Dance's hand appears directly and cuts directly at the blood corpse on the opposite side. Blood corpse figure a flash, unexpectedly directly from the Cloud Dance in front of disappear. Be careful. Would Xiaoming a cold drink, hand a long sword toward the cloud behind stab, just blocked the cloud behind the attack, blood corpse figure again. Cloud Dance frowned, did not expect that the strength of the blood corpse was so strong, so fast that she could not see clearly. Mu Xiaoming stares coldly at the blood corpse that suddenly appears again and says coldly, "Your skill is blinking?" Although the tone of doubt, but the heart has been very sure. Cloud Dance looks at the blood corpse in front of quite surprised. This blood corpse is more like a human than those seen before. Except that the skin is blood red, other eyes are the same as ordinary human. No wonder such a bloody corpse will be responsible for guarding this place. It seems that there is a secret here. The blood corpse coldly looked at Mu Xiaoming and said, the little master of the Mu family, are you too broad in your management? Mu Xiaoming didn't expect that his identity would be exposed here. He couldn't help feeling guilty. But it was still calm. Do you have it? I don't think that you blood corpses are so innocent that you should do such dirty things here. If we hadn't run into you, I don't know how many other races you would kill. Don't be so righteous. The blood corpse glared at his eyes and yelled angrily, this is how we blood corpses come from. Each race has its own way of survival. It's just natural selection. Why do you intervene? Is it? Mu Xiaoming said with a smile, if there is natural selection, it's right that you blood corpses are destroyed today? Blood corpse eyes a stare. What do you say? Mu Xiaoming just smiles and doesn't speak. The sword on his hand stabs the blood corpse again. Cloud Dance will listen to their two people's words in the ear, but didn't ask what, hand of black flame big knife impolitely toward blood corpse to greet past. In the face of a bloody corpse, she would not show mercy at all. In addition to the heart seems to come from the depths of the soul for the blood corpse disgust, more also know that the blood corpse race will not die, other races will always be mutilated. The black flame burned towards the blood corpse. The strange-looking flame sent out a hot high temperature when it came into contact with the blood corpse. The blood corpse screamed out and disappeared in front of them again. Cloud danced two people back to back, at any time to guard against the sudden attack of blood corpse. When he reappeared, the blood corpse was 100 meters away, and he looked at the Guwu sword in Yunwu's hand with venomous eyes. It's you who killed our people and made these runes white. It's you. Cloud Dance eyes cold looking at him, not moved. Mu Xiaoming snorted coldly, up to now, you are still worrying about this. I'm afraid that before long, the whole Blood Corpse clan will disappear. Blood Corpse stares big eyes to look at him, don't understand what this means. Although more and more runes have become white since just now, he has not had time to report to the king, so he has welcomed these two people. Looking at his appearance, Mu Xiaoming continued to stir up the flames. Dozens of races outside unite to fight against the Blood Corpse clan. If in the past, the Blood Corpse clan will surely win. Just now your dead place has been exposed. Do you think you can survive the attack of dozens of races? The bloody corpse looked at him in shock, and his eyes were full of disbelief. No, how can it be? How could they know where we are? Mu Xiaoming looked scornful. Cut, why can't you know? Don't forget, there have been a lot of blood corpses since a few days ago. Said here, the blood corpse finally understood everything, looked at the Cloud Dance two people hysterical. Is that what you do? Only you know the dead place of the blood corpse, even the people of the Beast Gate don't know. It's all from you. Mu Xiaoming was gloating. What can we do even if it is us? Can you still kill us? Let's not say whether you can kill us. If you do, I'm afraid the Blood Corpse clan will no longer exist. During the war, the most powerful people of the Blood Corpse clan were hiding in this secret room. It's really sad. Blood Corpse scarlet eyes looking at him, eager to directly frustrate him. But at the thought of his words, he finally held back, stamped his feet, turned around and left with a blink. Until he left completely, Mu Xiaoming finally lost his breath. It's very difficult. Cloud Dance is still thinking about their conversation, and got a lot of news from it. At this time, hearing Mu Xiaoming's words, he asked, do you know the secret of this place? Mu Xiaoming turned his head and looked at the Cloud Dance, showing a smile. I didn't know before, but I'm not sure here, but now I'm sure. Cloud Dance is all ears, but Mu Xiaoming doesn't mean to continue. Instead, he goes directly to the pool in the middle. Standing on the edge of the pool, Mu Xiaoming frowned and looked down. The water in the pool is as black as ink, pure black without any impurities, and even can clearly reflect people's shadow. From time to time, two bubbles emerge, but the churning is not severe. Yunwu walks beside Mu Xiaoming, feeling the feeling of the pool water, and the feeling in her heart is stronger. This pool. Yunwoo walks beside Mu Xiaoming, feeling the feeling of the pool water, and the feeling in her heart is stronger. If you're not wrong, I'm afraid this pool is the lifeblood of the whole Blood Corpse clan. Mu Xiaoming said positively. Look there. Mu Xiaoming raised his finger and pointed to the black energy that was constantly infused into each rune from the pool. He explained to Yunwoo, after observing for a long time, I found that black runes constantly turned white. According to the war outside, I'm afraid that this change means the death of a blood corpse. Cloud Dance nodded. Mu Xiaoming and her speculation suddenly came to interest, waiting for Mu Xiaoming to continue. The more he said, the more curious she was about his identity. What kind of person can come to find her with the flowers of rattan and stay with her for so long? At this moment, Yunwoo has no doubt that the original competition was deliberately made by the man in Xuani just to let her get the flowers of rattan. As for the runes that turn red, I guess they are exhausted or injured blood corpses. At this time, the pool will provide energy for them and let them recover as soon as possible through runes. Then, after they recover, these runes will become black again. When Mu Xiaoming finished all this, he turned to look at Yunwoo and asked with a smile, "What's up? Is my analysis reasonable?" Cloud Dance corner of the mouth a hook, praise, good, and I think the same. But it had nothing to do with her. She just wanted to know where the person she was looking for was. He once promised Xuan that he would take his wife back. Now that he has arrived at the blood corpse's nest, he can't miss this opportunity. Although I don't know what that person looks like, since Xuan can mistakenly recognize her as her mother, I think it's okay to look for her according to her own appearance. But, if this is the top secret, should the captured human and alien creatures also be here? Cloud Dance frowns to ask away. How does the Blood Corpse clan develop? She has no interest to know and doesn't want to know. Anyway, no matter how the blood corpse appears, as long as it is eliminated. It's possible. Mu Xiaoming nodded. Two people no longer continue to stay in the pool, have looked around, want to find something different. However, no matter how carefully they searched, they could not find any strange places. Strange, it shouldn't be. Mu Xiaoming grabbed his hair and asked, where did the blood corpse come from just now? Why can't we find the organ? Cloud Dance guessed in the heart, only afraid to use the power of magic bite again. But this time, where to start? While thinking about this, the cloud dances around, only to find that no matter what it is, there is no induction. The most intense induction is in the pool in the center of the room. Can't you jump into the pool? Cloud Dance silently make complaints about it in the heart. This idea just came out. Cloud Dance suddenly froze. Jump into the pool? Is it really about the pool? Cloud Dance quickly ran to the edge of the pool. The power of the evil bite in the body secretly urged. What are you doing? Mu Xiaoming looked at the Cloud Dance strangely. He had been standing on the edge of the pool for a long time, but he didn't find anything. Why did he go back now? Cloud Dance ignore him, still mobilize the power of the evil bite in the body. At last, the unresponsive feeling became more violent. It's really here. Cloud Dance heart surprise, mobilize more cheerful, as if not tired in general. Slowly, the black liquid in the pool had a ripple. Later, it grew bigger and bigger, and the bubbles that used to come out from time to time one by one, as if the water was boiling, but the Cloud Dance standing on the edge of the pool didn't feel the temperature at all. God, I said, you have a way to make it react? Mu Xiaoming was shocked to see all this and was not stingy of his praise. Cloud Dance still did not answer, wholeheartedly into the pool. However, no matter how she was, the water kept rolling, but there was no further change. Cloud Dance frowned, thinking that from time to time his strength is not enough. Suddenly came the voice of black proud surprise in the sea. This power, it's like the power in your body. Black proud tone rare shock, as if to break the usual calm in general. I know. It's a pothole. The magic hole? Yunwoo frowned and talked with Hayo in Jihai. Ignoring one side, Mu Xiaoming, who was excited and wanted to see the next change, what's that? It took Hayo a long time to recover. Although he was calm again, he could still hear the difference from the past. It seemed that the things he met today really shocked him too much. Do you know where the power of evil bite comes from in your body? Hayo didn't answer Yunwoo's question. Instead, he asked another question. I don't know, Yunwoo said frankly. She really didn't know when she had the power of magic bite in her body and where she got it. She only knew that she didn't seem to be able to completely control it so far, which made her very upset. But I also know that I can't be in a hurry. When her strength is strong, she will be able to really control that power one day. Black AO seems to have expected the answer of Cloud Dance for a long time, and then said, although I don't know where your power of magic bite comes from, I know that the power of magic bite in your body is inextricably related to the things under the pool. Cloud Dance has long guessed this, otherwise it is impossible to use the power of magic bite to get here all the way. The black pool is nothing special. The real magic hole should be under the pool. It must be that the Blood Corpse clan found it and used it. If you want to know more, just go down and have a look. I don't know exactly what the vulnerability is and why it appears here. All I know is that the energy in this hole can kill people, flesh and bones. As soon as Hayo's words were finished, Yunwoo's eyes lit up and suddenly understood all this. I know. A clear voice, Cloud Dance actually said directly from the mouth. Mu Xiaoming, who had been waiting for a long time, saw that Yunwoo was silent and didn't speak. He thought she was thinking about what to do next, so he didn't disturb her. At this time, Yunwoo suddenly said such a sentence, and Mu Xiaoming naturally thought that Yunwoo knew the method. What do you know? Tell me about it. Mu Xiaoming looks at the Cloud Dance with a curious face. He looks like a curious baby. Yunwoo figured out the joint of things and was in a good mood, but he knew whether what he thought was right or not. He had to find out for himself. Since the energy in this loophole has the effect of life and death, flesh and bones, it must not hurt people, right? Cloud Dance directly ignored Mu Xiaoming's curiosity and asked Hayo. After a moment's silence, Hayo continued, theoretically, it is true. But you have the power of evil bite. You just need to mobilize it. Even if it really hurts people, it's not enough to be afraid. It seems that Yunwoo is really planning to go down. In that case, let's go down and have a look. Cloud danced the corner of the mouth to start to put on a smile. This just turn ahead to see to one side anxiously wait for her to talk of Mu Xiaoming. We go down to have a look. Mu Xiaoming is stunned, some can't believe. Go down? Yes, go down. Cloud Dance nodded seriously. Then he grabbed Mu Xiaoming's wrist, and the power of evil bite in his body urged them to form a nearly transparent protective layer around them. Mu Xiaoming's eyes flashed slightly. He carefully found that the power was unusual, but he didn't say anything. Naturally, Yunwoo would not explain. Although it said that the things in the pool would not hurt people, it was hard to avoid that the Dark One still had a bad heart. Therefore, I decided to protect some, and urge the power of magic bite in advance, so as to avoid any unexpected situation. When they were ready, Yunwoo pulled Mu Xiaoming's wrist and jumped down. But I'm not ready yet. Let me think about it. This place can't jump at will. Well. Before Mu Xiaoming finished speaking, he was directly wrapped in black liquid, and then he found that his resistance was so weak that he was pulled down directly. After entering the pool, I found that what was in the pool was not a liquid at all, but a very rich black energy, just like a liquid. Yunwoo released his hand. With the protection of the magic power, the black energy around him could not get close to him at all, and a vacuum was formed around him. Mu Xiaoming looked at this strange scene and said, "Tut tut," in his heart. It was so dark under the dark pool that I couldn't see the things around me clearly. Cloud Dance fingers a flick, borrowed a touch of pure yang yen into a chain of fire, stretched forward, pure yang yen locked to the place, directly dispersed the black energy, illuminate the surrounding environment. This fire is so overbearing. Mu Xiaoming said with admiration that he felt more powerful than the black flame used before Cloud Dance, and Mu Xiaoming was more happy. The more powerful the Cloud Dance is and the more careful its mind is, it means that it doesn't have the wrong treasure. Sooner or later, the Cloud Dance will finish what it can't finish. Yunwoo controls the pure yang and makes it float around. Where it passed, the black energy gave way one after another, and let Cloud Dance see all the places under the pool. Nothing, Mu Xiaoming said with a frown. Yunwu made a quick decision, go down and have a look. Then, the pure Yang Yen turned into the tongue of fire extending vertically downward, the two people all the way down. The place they passed through were carefully examined, but nothing was found. There seems to be more energy down here. Mu Xiaoming is acutely aware of the changes around him. Under the protection of the power of evil bite, he can't feel the power outside the protective layer, so he has only felt it now. But Cloud Dance has already felt it. It should be the source of energy in the pool below, so it's so rich. Yunwu explained that all of a sudden, the two people who had been floating suddenly felt that their feet had stepped on the real object. In the end, Mu Xiaoming said in surprise, is this the only place that is so big? Cloud Dance frowned, stepped on the ground under the feet, determined to be really at the bottom of the pool. Then he raised his hand to take back the fire chain hanging down from the top, and turned it into a circle of fire around him, spreading around him. All the spreading places were exposed in front of the clouds. What's that? Mu Xiaoming's eyes suddenly widened, looking at a shadow not far away. His face was unbelievable. Cloud Dance's eyes slightly heavy, from see that moment will know what it is. Let's go and have a look. The flame was controlled and lived near the shadow. They walked over and stopped by the shadow. I saw that the shadow was a blood corpse who had not completed the transformation. The white skin of human beings and the red skin of blood corpses are very disgusting. Originally in her side, there are wisps of black energy, constantly drilling toward the skin layer. But at this time was isolated from pure yang, stopped the black energy perfusion, the red skin diffusion speed instantly stopped. Here it's the place to cultivate blood corpses. Mu Xiaoming stares at the person on the ground and says, that is a human. If you don't look at the skin, you can see from the facial features that this is a very beautiful woman, very handsome. In this dark energy, the woman seems to have suffered so much. Her brows are tightly wrinkled, but with the red and white skin, she looks rather ferocious. That should be the reason why the blood corpses captured those humans. Cloud Dance Light said. It was not until this moment that Yunwu finally confirmed his conjecture when he saw this creature. To tell you the truth, seeing this scene, I was more disgusted with the blood corpse group. Mu Xiaoming nodded, knowing that Yunwu was right. Is there a way to make them recover? Cloud Dance's eyes twinkle, looking at the people on the ground, thinking for a while, said, not sure, but you can try. With that, Yunwu squatted down, raised his hand, and mobilized the power of magic bite in his body. If she has the hope to cure this person, then that hope is the power of evil bite in her body. Now that we have passed several levels in a row, and we have a connection with this place, the power of evil bite must be different. Now let her have a try. What else is the power of the evil bite? Yunwu mobilized a little bit of the power of magic bite to enter the human body. When he entered, he felt that there was some energy running away in all directions, as if he was extremely afraid of the power of magic bite. Cloud Dance's heart suddenly relieved. It seems to be effective. Mu Xiaoming stood by and quietly watched the cloud dance. Although he could feel a special wave, he didn't know what it was. After a while, I saw a trace of black energy coming out of the human body. The moment it came out, it was burned and disappeared by the red flame. It's really effective. Mu Xiaoming looked at Yunwu in shock and said, what else can't you do? You can do anything. Cloud Dance ignored him, wholeheartedly closed his eyes in the human body search. It was not until the last trace of black energy was expelled that my eyes finally opened. Cloud Dance stood up, weak, almost fell in the past, thanks to the side of which Xiaoming helped her. The thin sweat on the forehead came out. It was originally a serious injury. Now it's time to control the power of magic bite that I haven't completely mastered. It's strange that I'm not weak. If you knew that she alone could make you so weak, you should take her away, and try to save her in the future. Mu Xiaoming said with chagrin. A touch of remorse flashed in his eyes. Cloud Dance, a corner of the mouth hook. Take away? When I recover, Do we have a chance to come back? She saved her originally in order to know more about this place. Naturally, she had to do it as soon as possible. Mu Xiaoming is so blocked that he can't speak, so he has to take a good pill and give it to Yunwu. Cloud Dance did not refuse to eat directly. This is more comfortable. In Mu Xiaoming's eyes, he was moved by the fact that Yunwu ate his food without any doubt. Mu Xiaoming knew that Yunwu had already regarded himself as his own person, and he was excited. The people on the ground wake up, but their skin still doesn't recover. Cloud Dance can only help her expel the ineffective energy in her body and make her not continue to transform, but it can't make her recover. Awake? The cloud dances and the cold voice rings out. People on the ground looked a little confused, and it took a long time to finally remember where they were. Cloud Dance 2 people are not anxious, until the people on the ground returned to normal, stood up, and finally asked what they want to ask. We were all captured by those bloody corpses. When a human woman opens her mouth, her eyes are full of hatred. She can see the skin on her hand and know what she looks like now. When he was captured, he was brutally tested everyone's talent. Those with potential to become blood corpses were thrown into this pool, while those without potential he killed them directly and became the food in the mouth of those blood corpses. All of you who have been arrested are here? Yunwu asked. I don't know. I only know that there were more than a dozen people who were thrown into the pool with me. They said that the lower the level, the faster the change. Maybe someone has left. The woman thought for a moment and then said, but they send some new people in every day. Yunwu nodded and looked around. In a small area, there was only one blood corpse of this woman. Considering that the blood corpses had been killed by himself recently, it was difficult for anyone to go out and catch human beings, right? This pool should be empty for some days. The woman in front of her has been here for such a long time. She must be gifted. Cloud Dance thinks so. Turn ahead to look at a woman again. I see. Suddenly, Mu Xiaoming seemed to have found something. He said excitedly, when and why did the Blood Corpse clan appear? No one knows. Now it seems that it is probably the reason for this pool. A man who breaks into the forest is affected by the pool and becomes a blood corpse. But the blood corpse can't reproduce, so we have to go out and catch other human beings constantly to increase our number. Mu Xiaoming said so. Cloud Dance 2 people suddenly enlightened. Cloud Dance thought about it in her heart, with a smile in her eyes. You're half right. Ah. Mu Xiaoming was stunned. Half right? That's right. Yunwu nodded. I feel the energy in this pool. It doesn't hurt people, and it's even good for human beings. If someone who has been seriously injured comes here, it will only take a moment to recover. The two of them were completely shocked. Originally thought to be a brutal force, but suddenly told that this is a healing medicine, how can people accept this? It's just that this kind of power is too chaotic and violent and not so pure, so it's hard to avoid some side effects. Yunwu continued, the skin of those who have been turned into blood corpses is as red as blood, because the power is too strong. Every time they die or get hurt, their strength will gradually weaken, so they need to send that strength out through runes so that they can recover and gradually have dependence on this strength. That's why runes destroy them and they will die, because they don't have the ability to support them like drugs, their vitality will be weakened, and they can't bear any pain. Cloud Dance's vision drifts to the black energy floating outside the fire circle. At this moment, she already knows why her magic power can react with these things. The power of Evil Bite is a dark power. It's very powerful and pure, so it doesn't have those cruel side effects when used. But this kind of power is different. They are the same as the power of Magic Bite, but there are too many impurities in them, which makes the human who absorb them become cruel, bloodthirsty, alien, and even addicted. Depending on this kind of strength to survive, although the Blood Corpse clan is brutal and heinous, it has to be said that it is also sad. It's strange that they are infatuated with that power and try to control it. People who have become blood corpses, is it possible to recover? Although Cloud Dance said so beautiful, but the woman still asked. She had seen the blood corpse with her own eyes, so even if Yunwu said the principle, she didn't want to be like that. She didn't recognize the blood corpse, and she was cruel and bloodthirsty, just for the ability of eternal life. Cloud Dance was silent for a moment, said, "I can only help you, and then recover will not be able to do. You will preserve human reason, not bloodthirsty and cruel to that extent, but you need to control it all by yourself in the future." The woman nodded and made no more sound. "Go to find out if there is anyone else here, and then we'll find the source." Mu Xiaoming sees the loneliness in women's eyes, but he can't say anything. Had to change the topic. "Don't forget we are here for the purpose." Yunwu nodded and lifted his palm lightly. The circle of fire spread out around him again. Soon he found the figure again. Half an hour later, we searched all over the bottom of the pool and found 12 blood corpses that had not yet been transformed successfully. Cloud Dance is too weak, and the black energy is too weak to use. The power of Magic Bite has no energy to use, so we have to wake them up first. As soon as the light of the summoning array flashed, a man's figure appeared in front of Yunwu, but as soon as he opened his mouth, he was directly casting his jiao at Yunwu. "Mama, what's the matter with me?" Cloud Dance fingertip pointed to the other side of the 12 people standing, said, "Don't be coquettish, send them up." Little Stinky glanced at the half-blood corpses of those people, and his face collapsed. They are so ugly." Originally also immersed in the joy of being rescued by Cloud Dance, the crowd suddenly fell silent. Although they also know what they look like at this time, I'm afraid it's hard to see them, but they are wounded at least. Do you need to tell them directly? Come on. Come back as soon as possible. Yunwu ignores Xiaoqiu's complaint. Small Stink had to release pure Yang Yen. We'll protect a few people, this just took them to go up. Go. Cloud Dance a greeting, directly toward a certain direction to swim, with Xiaoming closely behind her. Now Mu Xiaoming has completely believed in the feeling of Cloud Dance. He is the first to come here. Since Cloud Dance can find the direction, he is only responsible for following. They swam in the same direction all the time, and it didn't take long for that direction to become a downward slope. There was a flash of brilliance in Mu Xiaoming's eyes. It was right to follow the Cloud Dance. Through the place slowly into a channel, and finally vertical down. Cloud Dance has been speechless toward the depths of the rush, do not know how long deep, and finally at the bottom of the square appeared a horizontal channel. Cloud Dance 2 people directly drilled in. After getting out of the passage, they found that they seemed to have entered a vast ocean. The black energy is more rich than those seen in the Blood Corpse clan. Yunwu frowned, looked up at the top and made a quick decision, go up and have a look. They tried to swim up, but a moment later they came out of the pool. Out of the moment, Cloud Dance 2 people will be shocked to look around, only to see here is actually the depths of the volcano. But unlike other volcanoes, this volcano seems to be an extinct volcano, all of which are traces of magma. But did not see the burning magma, so Cloud Dance 2 people can make this judgment. Below is a small black pool, the water seems to be blocked by some natural barrier. It's a very rich energy. Other places must have affected the surrounding environment, but there is only some energy here from time to time, sneaking out through the cracks of the natural barrier. This is the source? Mu Xiaoming stares at the black pool for a long time and turns to ask Yunwu. Cloud Dance nodded, and she knew the black pride in the sea also saw all this. This is the hole in the eclipse. Black Proud low voice rang out, it hasn't completely leaked out yet. If it has completely leaked out, I'm afraid that the whole life on the top of the volcano will become blood corpses, and even further places will be affected. And judging from the passage just passed, it should be the passage dug by the blood corpses in order to make use of the energy. What should I do then? Cloud Dance asked. You should cultivate yourself first, try to use the power of Magic Bite to heal your wounds, and wait until you recover a little. Repair this barrier with the power of Magic Bite. The real loophole should still be deep. Yunwu nodded and turned to Mu Xiaoming and said, I need to recover now. Mu Xiaoming was stunned. Although he didn't know why, he nodded and said, okay, I'll help you protect the Dharma. So, on the edge of the black pool, Yunwu directly sat down cross-legged, and the power of Magic Bite in his body was mobilized, repairing the damaged meridians a little bit. Along the rotation of the week, each rotation, the body's energy will be full of a point. An hour later, Yunwoo opened her eyes. All right. Mu Xiaoming was surprised to see that his face was no longer pale. Well, cloud dance light should weigh, stand up, looking at the bottom of the magic hole, pull which Xiaoming jumped in again. But what are you doing? How come it's like this again? Can you say it before you pull me? You're so scary, you know? Mu Xiaoming cried out miserably. He has always been the most afraid of water. Although he knows that these black things are just black energy, they are rich enough to be close to liquid. But for him to jump down is to need psychological preparation. Unfortunately, Yunwoo didn't know that. When they entered the pool, Yunwoo stopped directly under the natural barrier, raised his arm, and the power of the evil phage in his body gushed out directly, extending to the place of the natural barrier. Well, is there a barrier here? Mu Xiaoming said in surprise. He stretched out his hand and found that he couldn't touch anything. When he was confused, Yunwoo just glanced at him and despised him. Mu Xiaoming then remembered that he had a protective layer set by Cloud Dance, and he was embarrassed to scratch his head. Cloud Dance did not pay attention to him, and the power of magic bite in his hand continuously entered the natural barrier. Although invisible to the naked eye, Yunwoo can clearly sense that the cracks on the barrier are being repaired little by little. Mu Xiaoming stood on one side and looked at it quietly without disturbing. Until after a long time, the barrier above which the naked eye could not see all the time suddenly flashed a wave, and Mu Xiaoming's eyes brightened. Sure enough, there are barriers. Cloud Dance has withdrawn her hand, and her face turns pale again. Sure enough, the power of magic bite is not so easy to control, although it only uses a little, but it is still very hard. The waves above slowly become calm, and finally disappear completely, and return to the previous appearance again. Cloud Dance loosened a mouthful to go, turn a head to wood to repair bright to say, "Good, go." All right. Mu Xiaoming was stunned. Did you just seal this place? Cloud Dance turns around and swims toward the bottom. Behind him, Mu Xiaoming follows closely. The barrier must have been blocked by someone who passed by. After a long time, cracks appeared, and the real source of the energy was still below. Mu Xiaoming nodded. When he left the passage, he obviously felt that the energy below was more intense. Now when he heard the explanation of Yunwoo, he suddenly understood it. Two people have been down, after the Blood Corpse group dug channel and continued down, not long after Cloud Dance stopped again. A black vortex of energy appeared in front of them, as if a black hole could suck people in. Yunwoo is suddenly curious about what kind of world is behind the black hole. When Mu Xiaoming saw the black hole, he was shocked and speechless. He had known for a long time that the secret of the Blood Corpse clan was not simple, but he didn't expect it to be so simple. The black whirlpool seemed to have magic power. A steady stream of black energy came out and floated upward. It was blocked under the natural barrier before, and some of it was sent to the inside of the Blood Corpse clan along the passage when it came. That's the source you're talking about? After a long time, Mu Xiaoming found his voice and looked at the black energy vortex in disbelief. Yes. Cloud Dance definitely nodded, turned his head and said to him, "I'm closer, you wait here." Said, directly toward the black whirlpool to swim. The closer it gets, the more suction the vortex has, as if it would be sucked in the next moment. Yunwoo doesn't dare to be careless. She knows that there is an inexplicable connection between the things behind and the power of magic bite. She still can't control the power of magic bite. If she is sucked in now, I'm afraid it won't come to a good end. She has to go to the dragon to pour out evil. She must protect herself. Be careful, don't get too close, or I won't be able to go back. Mu Xiaoming shouts at Yunwoo in a loud voice for fear that she will go to another world accidentally. The Cloud Danced white he one eye, diligently under the condition of not being sucked in again approached some, until almost reached the limit time finally stopped. How are you? Is that all right? Mu Xiaoming called again, his eyes full of worry. Shut up. Cloud Dance turns ahead to stare at him one eye, so noisy let her how peacefully repair loophole? Mu Xiaoming glanced at him and finally calmed down. Cloud dance palm light lift, evil bite force gush out, toward that black whirlpool and go. This time, the vortex changes directly in front of Mu Xiaoming and Yunwu, so that they can see the process of repair more clearly. My God! Mu Xiaoming grew up and could hardly believe what he saw. I saw that when the power of magic bite rushed to the black whirlpool, which seemed like a black hole, suddenly stopped. At that moment, they almost thought that time was also at a standstill. But then, the black whirlpool suddenly turned in the opposite direction, the crazy suction gushed out, and the surrounding black energy was directly sucked into the whirlpool. Be careful! Mu Xiaoming was made a big step forward by the sudden suction. He quickly stabilized his figure, and then yelled directly at Yunwu, his eyes full of worry. Just protect yourself. Cloud Dance head also don't return of say. At this time, she directly increased the output of the power of magic bite in her body, and the powerful energy was almost out of her control, as if she wanted to leave her body. The powerful energy rushes directly into the black vortex, which shrinks at the speed visible to the naked eye. Hateful suction. Cloud Dance gnashing teeth said. In order to resist the suction, she used more magic power, but she couldn't control it at all, and finally ran rampant in her body, as if to explode her. Cloud Dance while constantly output that power, but also to resist the pain in the body, the whole person has distorted a lot, but just gritted his teeth to insist. Mu Xiaoming stands not far behind him and looks at it, but he can't get in at all. All he can do is stay here quietly and make sure that he won't be sucked away, so as not to become a burden to the Cloud Dance. At the same time, he quietly cheers for the Cloud Dance in his heart. As time goes by, the black whirlpool becomes smaller and smaller, and the black energy surrounding it is also less and less, but the suction is getting bigger and bigger. Every time Cloud Dance is about to hold on, he grits his teeth and tells himself to hold on a little bit more, and hold on a little bit more, so he sticks to it a little bit. Finally, the black whirlpool completely closed, the Cloud Dance's palm loosened, the power of magic bite finally stopped running, and the powerful suction disappeared in an instant. As if take off the general force, Cloud Dance in the release of the moment will be straight down. However, at this time, a figure flashed quickly, rushed to Mu Xiaoming's body and hugged Yunwu. Mama. Small Stink wrongly looking at Cloud Dance said, eyes full of worry, Mama, how can you wait for me? Let me help you is not much easier. At this moment, Yunwu felt as if his body was about to explode. The overuse of the power of magic bite completely lost control and ran rampant in his body. But the Cloud Dance, which has taken off its power, has no ability to control them at all. Quick, help her into the passage when she arrived. She's not in a good condition. Mu Xiaoming rushed to Yunwu and said as soon as he saw her. Small Stink dare not neglect, directly Cloud Dance horizontal hold up, 3 people together toward the channel. Cloud Dance will be gently on the ground. Fortunately, the channel is wide enough, even if the 2 people are surrounded by Cloud Dance does not appear crowded. Mu Xiaoming grabs Yunwu's wrist and closes his eyes. A trace of mysterious ability penetrates into Yunwu's body and begins to explore the situation in her body carefully. Little Stinky stares at him, worried. Soon, the palm of Mu Xiaoming's hand was loose, and his face was very ugly. How's Mama? Little Stink asked quickly. Mu Xiaoming didn't speak. As soon as he turned his hand, a jade box appeared in his palm. When the jade box was opened, there were 3 crystal clear pills in it, just like white pearls. The full-bodied medicine fragrance filled the whole passage at the moment when the jade box was opened. Mu Xiaoming didn't want to, so he took out one and handed it to Yunwu's mouth. The entrance of the elixir turned into pure medicine and entered Yunwu's body. After finishing this, Mu Xiaoming took the remaining 2 back, but his face still didn't get any better. His eyes were fixed on Yunwu's face, full of worry. She is in a very bad condition. Her meridians are damaged in many places. This damage can only be repaired by her own. If she can't recover, I'm afraid she will be a useless person when she wakes up. What did you say? Little Stink grabbed Mu Xiaoming's collar. How can Mama become a useless person? She's so good. Mu Xiaoming frowned tightly, his eyes were full of worry. And he didn't even get angry with Xiao Chao's rude behavior. His eyes were always on Yunwu's body. I can't intervene in this situation. The power in her body is too unique. If I intervene, it will hurt her. A trace of pain flashed in Mu Xiaoming's eyes. It was clear that he had saved many people, but now he couldn't even save a person he valued very much. This is not a problem that Dan Medicine can solve, but his strength is too low. If he can be stronger, Small Stinky disappointed let go of hand, returned to Cloud Dance side, aggrieved about to cry out. The mind is not an adult. He only knows that Cloud Dance is very important to him. He knows what it means to become a useless person for Cloud Dance. I just gave her pills. Although the pill can't suppress the powerful force in her body, it can help her smooth the meridians, relieve the pain, and make her consciousness clear. In this way, she will have the ability to heal herself. As for what happens after that, it's up to her. Mu Xiaoming then said, the elixir given to Yunwu is the treasure of heaven and earth obtained by a coincidence. It's very rare. As far as he knows, there are only 3 in the world. The first one has been given to Yunwu, but he doesn't feel heartache at all. If the reason why he helped Yunwu before was because of Yunwu's hope of revenge, then at this moment, he would rather Yunwu didn't have the ability to communicate with heaven than let Yunwu not wake up. I don't care what effect your pills have. I just want to be numb. Little Stinky said wrongly. He didn't know about the pill, so he didn't know the importance of the pill. However, when Mu Xiaoming heard this, he thought what he said was very reasonable. Am I that weak in your eyes? Weak voice sounded. Cloud barely opened his eyes. Just now that pill entrance, namely melt, Cloud Dance, then feel vague in a cool feeling impact own brain, let her no longer continue to be confused. Then he felt that the cool feeling led to the 4 limbs, and the feeling of explosion in the whole body weakened a lot. Yunwu knew that it must be the man in Xuani who had given himself some magic medicine. But at that time, she didn't have the strength to move, so she could only absorb the medicine. Slowly, her consciousness became clearer and clearer, and finally she had the strength to wake up. Mama, are you awake? Small Stink, a face surprise of call away, hurriedly forward to Cloud Dance helped up. Yunwu's face is very pale. Although he has the help of Mu Xiaoming's pills, he can use the cool medicine to make himself no longer confused, but the pain in his body has not been alleviated at all. She listened to the conversation between Mu Xiaoming and Xiao Chou, so she clearly knew what was the most urgent thing. Cloud Dance turns to one side and looks at her Mu Xiaoming with a worried face. Her voice is as cold as ever, but there is more trust and weakness. Next, I'll trouble you. Mu Xiaoming was stunned, then nodded vigorously. Don't worry, we will protect the Dharma for you, you are good to heal. Cloud Dance no longer said anything, directly closed his eyes and entered the state of cultivation. Look around, be careful someone comes in. Mu Xiaoming said seriously to Xiao Chou. Small Stink serious nodded. 2 people rare did not quarrel, respectively in the Cloud Dance nearby to find a position to sit down, vigilant looking around. Although few people know about this secret passage, it is not a safe place after all. They must be vigilant. I don't know what's going on outside. Mu Xiaoming lowered his eyes and thought of it silently in his heart. This loophole has been filled, and the pool outside will dry up. I'm afraid those blood corpses won't live long, but they don't know the people of the Beast Gate thinking of this. A ray of hatred flashed in Mu Xiaoming's eyes. What he really wants to kill is the Beast Gate. Cloud Dance into the state of internal vision, the state of their own body to see clearly. Although we have known for a long time that the consequences of the uncontrolled power of evil bite must be very serious, we did not expect that it would be so serious. The power of magic bite turns into a tiny force, jumping up and down all over the body. Where you pass, you can always leave a scar on the vein. Every time, you will feel the pain of tearing. It's as if there are countless ants gnawing at the same time in your body. It's very uncomfortable. The power of elements and fighting spirit in the body are distributed everywhere. Under the pressure of the power of evil bite, the scattered power can't compete at all. In addition to the place where Dantian gathered strength, almost all other places were crushed. My God! Cloud Dance felt a headache, The situation is too difficult, she even had a trace of panic. But it soon oppressed the confusion. The power of magic bite, right? I don't believe I can't control you. Cloud Dance in the Heart Firm is preparing to do a big, know the sea, black proud voice suddenly sounded. First, gather the power of elements and fighting spirit together. Fighting alone is not the opponent of Magic Bite's power. We must use all our strength to deal with him. Black proud voice is very calm, listened to in the ear of Cloud Dance let her very at ease. In fact, when Yunwoo was seriously injured, Jihai was also affected and Hyo, who was in the middle of Jihai, was also affected, but now he had to come out to command Yunwoo's healing. Because he clearly knows that if something happens to Yunwoo he will not get a good result, so even now he is struggling to speak, he still allows himself to observe everything in Yunwoo's body, see everything in his eyes, and make a sound to remind him. Cloud Dance in the Heart suddenly enlightened, is worried that there is no way to start, the method is sent to the door. Now Cloud Dance no longer hesitates and starts to heal according to the tips of Black Pride. Well, I see. Cloud Dance should be in my heart. The power and fighting spirit of the elements who fled under the earth-shaking power of Magic Bite were gathered without hesitation. A little power was not let go, and soon they were gathered into a vast ocean. Yunwoo carefully separated the two forces and became two powerful forces. After all this, Yunwoo only felt that the pain in her body was more intense. Originally, there were scattered forces to resist, which could have a little defensive effect, but at this time, Yunwoo concentrated its strength, and there was no defensive force in other places. Cloud Dance watched the channels in her body destroyed, but there was no way. She knew that the power of the evil bite must be suppressed, otherwise, no matter how many times she mended the meridians, it would not help. Now, use these two forces to suppress the power of evil bite. Remember to refine the power of suppression for your own use. It's good for your injury. Seeing that Yunwoo successfully completed the first part, Hyo began to command. Good. Cloud Dance is unambiguous, urging those two forces to attack and go towards the power of evil phage. There are hundreds of chaotic power of evil bite in the body, which must be solved one by one. The powerful force of elements and fighting spirit directly chose the latest force of Magic Bite as the target, and mercilessly besieged it. The power of Magic Bite is extremely arrogant. It's running around. The place it passes is in a mess, and the meridians are damaged. Magic Bite's power is playing happily. When the two forces came, the power of evil bite seemed to have a thought, and Yunwoo felt a touch of disdain, as if he didn't put the two forces in his eyes at all. I don't believe you can continue to be so arrogant later. Cloud Dance thought in the heart, and then impolitely directed the two forces to devour the magic. The power of Magic Bite was swallowed by those two forces in an instant. Yunwoo felt that although the power was trapped, it had not yet been refined. At the moment, it was impolite and oppressed. A battle with the power of evil bite begins in the body. In the blood corpse field, it was already a mess at this time. The blood corpses, who were known to be weak, still have a lot of strength. As long as they don't find the rune, they can gain strength continuously. But at this time, the secret room in the mountain palace has been affected and can no longer provide power for them. The blood corpses have long been red-eyed. Without the source of power, they seem to be crazy one by one and become more tyrannical. What's the matter? Why do these blood corpses suddenly become so irritable? A rough man who had just killed a blood corpse wiped the blood off his face and yelled at a man beside him at the top of his voice. The man seemed to be the leader of the team. Obviously, he also found the problem. He turned to look at the rough man, but his eyes were attracted by the blood corpse that had just been cut to death. Look as if the man had found the new world. He pointed to the blood corpse on the ground and said, "They can't recover the wound." The rough man was stunned. He was always careless. He didn't notice this at all. At this time, when he heard the man mention it, he quickly looked at it. As expected, it was the same as what the man said. But how did these blood corpses start to bite? And sucking blood, another voice came from the other side. The rough man and the man looked at it at the same time. Sure enough, they saw the blood corpse over there. They didn't know how it was not a fight. It's like crazy, holding human beings and gnawing at random, mercilessly grasping the place where they can bite, looking at the throat rolling all the time. We know that they are actually sucking blood. What's the matter? How did the bloody corpse start to suck blood? The rough man looked confused, but he didn't have time to figure out why, so he rushed into the battle, because a bloody corpse bit him. The man in charge of the team looked at the scene in front of him in shock, but he couldn't react to why. But soon, he found that those crazy blood corpses were mostly injured blood corpses. After they drank blood, their wounds began to heal, as if human blood could bring strength to them. It turns out that those blood corpses who lose the source of strength will get strength from other aspects, and blood is the most attractive and the first choice for them. But these humans fighting outside don't understand why. They only know that it's good for them, because all the blood corpses are at the end of a crossbow. Before long, all the blood corpses will be destroyed. Don't be afraid, these blood corpses won't live long. As long as they don't let them suck blood, they won't be able to heal the wound. Let's go. Kill the blood corpse and avenge our people. The man excitedly spread the news. When those confused people heard the news, they suddenly felt refreshed. One by one, they seemed to see the dawn of victory and fought harder. Kill the bloody corpse. Revenge for the people, kill the bloody corpse. Revenge for the people, kill the bloody corpse. Revenge for the people slogans resounded in the whole blood corpse field, far away, with a very strong sense of war towards the internal spread. Deep in the mountain palace, it took Yunwu nearly 2 hours to control the power of evil bite in his body. At the beginning, it was very difficult to deal with the power of evil phage by relying on the strength and fighting spirit of its own elements. But the more it got to the back, the power of evil phage gradually transformed into its own power. Cloud Dance will feel more comfortable when dealing with the power of evil bite, which makes trouble everywhere, and the power of evil bite, which turns into its own use, is constantly enhancing the strength of Cloud Dance. It's just that when the power of magic bite is completely engulfed by Yunwu, Yunwu's physical condition has been weakened to a certain extent. If she is weaker, I'm afraid all previous achievements will be wasted. Even if she controls the power of magic bite, it's useless. Mu Xiaoming and Xiao Smelly looked at Yunwu's face more and more pale, almost no blood color, as if there was no life in general. Terrible. What to do? If you go on like this, how can you heal if you are so weak? How can I heal myself for half an hour and become weaker and weaker? Little Stinky turns around in a hurry, but there is nothing to do. He can only look at Mu Xiaoming eagerly, hoping that he can give some ideas. Mu Xiaoming is also very worried, but Yunwu is in the state of cultivation at this time, and he can't help, for fear that if he is not careful he will disturb Yunwu's steps. Don't worry, I'll try. Mu Xiaoming guessed the progress of Yunwu, and felt that Yunwu would choose to control the strength in her body before healing. In this way, what she could help was to help her relieve the pain in her body and repair the meridians. In this way, without hesitation, Mu Xiaoming took out the jade box, and then took out a pill and fed it into Yunwu's mouth. Yunwu felt something close to her mouth, and the strong fragrance of medicine lingered on the tip of her nose. Then she knew that it must be Mu Xiaoming again. Now without hesitation, she opened her mouth and swallowed the pill. At this time, her injury was too serious to be polite with Mu Xiaoming. Today's kindness can only be repaid in the future. At the entrance of the pill, the cool feeling came again. Yunwu finally felt more comfortable and began to repair the mess in the body wholeheartedly. Seeing that the pill was taken, Yunwu's face was a little better. Mu Xiaoming was relieved to know that he had guessed right. How's it going? Little Stink can't see Yunwu's injury. As the summoner of Cloud Dance, he can feel some, but in the face of this little changed injury, he is not sure. In his induction, Cloud Dance is still seriously injured. Don't worry, Mu Xiaoming said, now that she has the ability to heal herself, she will gradually improve, but the process may be a little long. Don't you have another pill? Let's eat it together. Can it be better and faster? Little Stink said quickly. He didn't forget that there was still a war outside. Cloud dancing was dangerous if he didn't wake up. Mu Xiaoming smokes at the corner of his mouth. How can he feel the little stink? It's like he gave Yunwu sugar beans? You know, that pill is very rare. Little Stinky turned his mouth and said to Mu Xiaoming, "Don't you want to give up?" "What are you talking about?" Mu Xiaoming's eyes glared. "Do you think this pill is sugar beans? Eat what you want?" She can't absorb another pill. Instead, she wasted a pill. This medicine is very powerful. It's not good for her to take too much. On the contrary, she has to be distracted to deal with that medicine. Little Smelly Smell speech, brow can't help but wrinkle. He to Dan medicine, but what all don't know, even before starting his parents give him Dan medicine, up to now is still don't move. Hearing what Mu Xiaoming told him, Little Stink couldn't help but ask, "Really? What do you say?" Would Xiaoming eyes a stare. Now Cloud Dance injury began to improve, he also finally had the idea of joking. Then he said, "Besides, in case of any special situation later, how much can I reserve one pill? If I finish it at one time, what can I do after that?" This small stink is to understand, then nodded and said, "Oh, you also have a point, that's it." After that, he went back to the previous position and continued to protect the Dharma. Mu Xiaoming choked. How could he listen to Xiao Chao's words so much as if he was listening to him? But at this time in front of Yunwu, in order not to disturb Yunwu's healing, they can't quarrel loudly, so Mu Xiaoming glares at Xiao Chou fiercely and sits down in his own position. Outside the mountain palace, a group of Blood Corpse clan's experts came back in a mess and concentrated on the main hall in the mountain palace. The Blood Corpse king looked at the blood corpses of no more than 10 standing below with a desolate face. Some human skin appeared more or less on each blood corpse. Unexpectedly, my Blood Corpse clan has come to today after all. The king of the Blood Corpse laughed and sighed. These blood corpses are all the top blood corpses of the Blood Corpse family. They are also the blood corpses who spent the longest time in the pool when they became blood corpses. Different from other blood corpses, they have an ability that other blood corpses don't have, that is, when they no longer carry out energy supply, they can become human again by some means, but the cost of changing back is huge. When they change back, life is no more than 10 years. That's why only a few of them can withdraw. Judging from the situation of the war, they already knew that the pool had been destroyed, and there was only one way to destroy the pool, that is, to plug up the hole of magic erosion. Once the pothole is fixed, they can't get it through again with their power. King Wei. A bloody corpse of a woman came forward. She was pretty, but her face was red and white, which made people look terrible. The Blood Corpse king knew what she was going to say as soon as he saw her. He waved his hand and said, "Needless to say, we blood corpses have killed a lot of human beings. After so many years, they have long wanted to kill us. Even if we all become human, they will not let us go." As soon as the Blood Corpse king's words were finished, all the blood corpses present were silent. They knew it would be. If they had not coveted the magic power, how could they have become what they are now? Those people of the Beast Gate are really unreliable. A bloody corpse spat. At the time of the war, we expected them to do more. If they were willing to do it, why should we be so far? But it's good that they all ran away when they saw that we were going to be destroyed. Well, those people. Another blood corpse also sneered and said, "They are just like us. They will do whatever they want for the benefit. Originally, it was to take that person away, but now I can't take him away. What else can I do if I don't leave? It's just a pity that we didn't have time to take advantage of that person, so it's over." Hearing the blood corpse mention that person, the Blood Corpse king's eyes flashed and then fell silent. Well, if those attackers came for that person, we might have a chance to survive, but now. King, that pool. A blood corpse suddenly thought of something, stepped forward and said, "That pool is very secret. How could it be destroyed suddenly? Is there anyone sneaking into the interior?" The Blood Corpse king was stunned, and then he remembered. On the battlefield, the blood corpse who was responsible for guarding the room had been killed, leading them to forget this. "Go and have a look." The Blood Corpse King said immediately. A group of blood corpses did not hesitate to follow the Blood Corpse King to a room. Anyway, staying outside is also death. At this time, it doesn't matter what they do. Soon, the door of the room opened, and all the black runes had turned into white. The rest of the runes were still changing. And the pool in the middle of the room has become empty, and no more meaningful energy can penetrate out. A Blood Corpse clan shocked the exit, but found himself unable to say anything. Even if you already know what it is, you will be shocked when you see it with your own eyes. Originally, there was not a drop left in the pool. With the black energy of making a fortune, they will never appear again. King, those who destroyed the pool must be down here. Let's go and have a look. We're going to die anyway. Before we die, we'll pull them into the water. A blood corpse stares at the bright red eyes to say the heart voice of several blood corpses. Even now, what they think is to pull people into the water. Thus, let's go down and have a look. Maybe those people haven't left yet. The Blood Corpse King's eyes narrowed slightly, flashing a cruel light, and at the same time, there was a touch of fear. The person who can repair that loophole must be strong. However, they are all dying people. Will they be afraid of these? King, even if we don't go, when those people outside break in, we'll be dead as well. A strong blood corpse said in a loud voice. Originally, as a human, he was extremely bloodthirsty. Later, he became a blood corpse without fear. Now he's going to die again. What are you afraid of? After hearing his words, the king of blood corpse glared and said, "Good. Let's go." Several blood corpses rushed to the pool, and in the depth of the secret road, the two people who were protecting the cloud dance also opened their eyes in an instant. Small stinky smell and would fix bright two people to look at each other, saw serious on each other's face. Finally, it's coming. It's so fast and familiar. It seems that it's the blood corpses. I know the pool has been destroyed. I've come to seek revenge. Mu Xiaoming raised a smile at the corner of his mouth and said coldly. Little smelly face rare appeared a touch of maturity. Blood corpse just, without the black energy supply, where can they be powerful? See if I don't blow them up. Mu Xiaoming's vision stayed for a moment on Yunwu's body, and said softly to Xiao Chou, "Don't let them disturb her, make a quick decision." Little Stink nodded seriously, "Don't worry, I know the weight." They stood up and stood shoulder to block Yunwu behind them, facing the direction when they came. But for a moment, several figures appeared in the secret road. There are no more than 1,000 residents on a large island, but the economy and construction here are far more than other continents. In an inn, Sidalan sat cross-legged on it and practiced with his eyes closed. The aura of this island is very strong, which is very good for cultivation. If it is possible, he will stay here for some days. Cluck! The door of the room was suddenly knocked. Then a guard's voice rang out, "Master Situ, welcome to the city, master." At last, Situ Lan opened his eyes and retreated from the cultivation state. It has been several days since he arrived at this island. During this time, he always wanted to leave here, but he found that the island is huge, surrounded by the sea, but there is no boat. Situ Lan didn't know where he was and couldn't even tell the direction. The residents of this island have never left here, and some people who arrive here by accident are never allowed to leave, because this is a peaceful island with a lot of wealth. They are worried that someone will spread the news and bring war here. So the lord of the city ordered that all the ships be destroyed and no one be allowed to leave. Situ Lan tried his best to see the lord of the city. After helping him a lot and making repeated promises, he was finally summoned today. If there is no accident, he is afraid that the lord of the city will promise to send him away. He followed the bodyguard all the way into the lord's mansion, and finally met a charming and noble woman in the reception room. "You all go down." And the appearance of the coquettish different. "The voice of the Lord is very cold," said the words let people dare not violate. Yes. The bodyguards and maids left one after another. Situ Lan was standing in the middle of the room, looking at the lord of the city. The lord of the city is thinking about it? Decide to let me go? City Lord, a pair of charming eyes in situ Lan's body circulation, the corners of the mouth evoke a trace of smile. Situ Lan stood there quietly, letting her look at him, not moved at all. After a long time, the City Lord finally sighed, took back his gaze and breathed out, "What's wrong with me here? What makes you have to leave?" Situ Lan was not moved, and directly ignored the friendship of the City Lord. "My friends, I have to find them. He's a man of love." The City Master shook his head and said with a smile, "Do you know that if I let you go, I'll bet the whole island. Once you leave, I'll tell you what happened on my island. The Lord can rest assured." Situ Lan directly interrupted the City Lord's words. "I, Situ Lan, said to do, even to my friends, will never reveal a word, more will not say to irrelevant people. If it brings you war, Situ Lan is willing to be buried with you." The City Master's eyes flashed, as if thinking whether Situ Lan's words could be believed. Situ Lan didn't urge him, so he stood there waiting for the result of the Lord. Finally, the City Master smiles. "Don't you know the result of my calling you today?" Situ Lan just showed a smile and said, "Thank you for your help." The City Lord raised his hand and said, "Don't get excited. I don't mean to let you go. In fact, I don't want to leave this island just because I let you go." Situ Lan frowned and didn't understand what she meant. Since the people on this island destroyed the ship hundreds of years ago, they didn't even leave the drawings. The only way to make the ship is in the Lord's mansion. Even if I give it to you, you can't make it. I can't allow someone in the city to build it. Situ Lan felt relieved. It turned out that this was the reason, so I don't know if the Lord of the city can provide warcraft that can fly, so I can leave directly. The Lord shook his head. There are seas all around. No flying warcraft can fly past. Situ Lan is a Lang, didn't expect to be like this. What's the Master's way? The Lord sighed and said, "If you want to leave, I can provide you with a way, but whether you can go back to your friends or not depends on you." Situ Lan frowned. "What do you mean?" The City Lord turned around and said, "If you want to leave here, there is only one way, that is to use the water drop to walk back from the bottom of the sea." Situ Lan's pupils shriveled, as if he had heard something terrible. What back? This vast sea that can't even fly to warcraft asks him to go back? But when I think about it, if there is a way to avoid water drops at my own speed as long as I bring enough food and water, it's not impossible. The biggest difficulty in walking back is not the distance, but the danger you may encounter along the way. The Lord spoke again. Avoiding water beads can't really avoid the water. It can only protect you from the invasion of the sea within 3 feet around you. At that time, if you encounter any danger at the bottom of the sea, you can't be protected by avoiding water drops. Said here, Situ Lan already understood. In the vast ocean, there are many undeveloped warcraft and tribes, whose strength is very strong. What's more terrible is that if we meet them, the place to fight is underwater, which is much more difficult than fighting on land. In short, the danger level in the shallow sea is comparable to that in the depth of Warcraft Forest, not to mention walking back, destined to go through the deep sea. So, do you want to leave? The City Lord turns around and looks at Situ Lan with beautiful eyes, expecting his answer. Situ Lan's eyes twinkled with a firm look and said, "Yes. My friend is waiting for me." The City Lord's eyes flashed a trace of loss, and he laughed at himself. "Sure enough, you still want to leave. I know you are such a person." Situ Lan's lips moved, but he didn't say anything at last. From the island to the present, the Lord of his good he is very clear, but he cannot respond. Since we can't respond, we'd better not give any hope. What's more, I'm afraid I will never see you again. The City Master sighed and turned his hand. A crystal-clear white pearl appeared in the palm of his hand. Situ Lan's eyes were instantly attracted in the past. Just a glance, he knew that this was the bead of avoiding water from the legend. After taking the bead from the City Master, Situ Lan is preparing to put it into his personal space. But I heard the Lord suddenly say, "This thing must be worn on the body to be effective. If it is damaged, it will be discounted. If it is destroyed, it will have no effect." Situ Lan was surprised in the heart and nodded solemnly, wearing the water-avoiding bead carefully on his body. "Thank you for your gift. I'll see you later," Situ Lan said, arched his hand to the city master, and turned to leave. "Goodbye. In fact, I will never see you again." The city lord looked at Situ Lan's back and whispered sound into Situ Lan's ears, but did not let his feet stop half a minute. In the desert, Chi Yi's fell to the ground weakly, his lips dried up, his clothes were cut and there were many wounds on his body, and even some wounds had black blood flowing out. "It's really a sand scorpion. It's so hard to deal with." Chi Knight corner of the mouth raises a smile, looking at nearby scattered pieces of sand scorpion body, Weak said. The venom spread not fast, but let Chi Knight lost the ability of action. In the desert, there is no way to detoxify. What's more, she has no strength to move now. "I'm afraid today, she can't leave here anymore. I'm not reconciled." Chi Yi's lowered his head, looked at the spreading black on his body, and murmured, "I haven't found you yet. I don't know what happened to you." Chi Knight's voice is getting smaller and smaller, and finally a sense of vertigo strikes, making her feel like she's going to sleep at any time. Gradually blurred vision, until the ground cannot see the body of Sand Scorpion, and finally heavy toward the ground fell down. "This time I left completely." Before fainting, Chi Yi's thought in her heart. In the swamp, Shangguan carefully hid behind the lush grass, and looked at a strange-looking warcraft not far away. His mouth water was about to flow out. "I've been in this ghost place for so long, and finally let me see a bigger warcraft. If I don't catch you, I'll have a good meal," the Shangguan said, holding the weapon tightly. In the swamp, the most common poisons are all kinds of poisons, and the best ones are sneak attack and use poisons. Moreover, due to the small size, the Shangguan has never had a chance to eat meat well. He has been impatient for a long time, and suffered serious physical and mental suffering. In recent days there are no more shrubs around, but some tall trees, less and less marshes, and more compact land, which means that Shangguan has gone from marshes to forests. According to past experience, Shangguan knew that he was going in the right direction. He was afraid that he would not lack food next. "Now, I finally saw the first strong warcraft, how can I let it go easily? Dear, I won't hurt you. Come here a little more." Shangguan prayed in his heart. His long fight with poisons led to some changes in his fighting habits, especially when hunting for food, which made him more aware of the importance of hiding. "Moo!" Warcraft let out a cry, like looking for food, slowly leaning towards the direction of Shangguan, did not notice the imminent danger. Right now. As soon as Shangguan's eyes brightened, the warcraft had turned away from him. Shangguan rushed out directly, and the weapon in his hand chopped at the warcraft head. "Moo dash!" The scream of warcraft resounded, startled a piece of birds in the surrounding trees, as if in great pain. Shangguan jumped to its back at the same time, then the pain of rolling up. Shangguan tightly grasped the corner of warcraft's head to keep himself from falling down. At the same time, he was looking for the weakness of warcraft and was ready to attack at any time. All of a sudden, the rolling warcraft showed a little flaw. Shangguan showed no mercy. He turned his hand and wiped the warcraft's neck directly. A scream rang out and the warcraft fell to the ground heavily. "Well, I thought I could fight." It turned out to be a cub. It died in a moment. Shangguan then found out that it was a warcraft. It seemed that it was an underage warcraft. He immediately scratched his head. "But it's okay. Let's have a baby. It's tender. Hee." With that, Shangguan started to pick up the little beast. Although it's a cub, it's bigger than an adult cow. It's troublesome to clean up, but Shangguan enjoys it. "It's big enough for me to eat for a long time. I really made money this time. I think there will be a lot of delicious food in the future." Totally immersed in the joy of picking up the food, Shangguan didn't find that somewhere behind him, an adult warcraft was getting closer and closer, and a pair of beasts seemed to have fire in their eyes. On the other side, human beings. Several bloodthirsty eyes of blood corpses glared at the wood Xiaoming and the little stink standing in front of them, gritting their teeth. And the summoner? Another blood corpse's sharp eyes saw the identity of Little Stink. Are you the human who has been killing our blood corpses? Mu Xiaoming's eyes flashed a clear emotion. Is these blood corpses will he as Cloud dance? People who have been killing blood corpses? They're not even the same sex, okay? Are these blood corpses blind? No, not him. Another blood corpse said, the human who killed our fellow is a woman. They should be partners. There must be people around here. Are you mistaken? Mu Xiaoming finally said, where do you see people here? At this time, they were at a corner of the passage, so the blood corpses didn't find the figure of Cloud dance. But as long as they passed the corner behind Mu Xiaoming, they would find the Cloud dance in the serious injury. The strength of these blood corpses is not weak, but also a large number of people. If you really fight in front of Yunwu, it will hurt Yunwu, so no matter what, you can't let them find the existence of Yunwu. Well, who cares? Since you are here, you must have blocked the loophole. You're all with the people out there. The Blood Corpse King said viciously, in this case, don't blame us for being rude. Give it to me. Kill them. Yes, the blood corpses answered the voice together. In the narrow space, the speed did not decrease at all. They rushed to Mu Xiaoming quickly. Mu Xiaoming showed no sign of weakness. A long sword appeared in Mu Xiaoming's hand. Looking at the blood corpse, his eyes were filled with cold, and his hands were merciless. The space is narrow, and the Little Stink can't be turned into Numenon at all, but the action is also unambiguous. As a summoner of Cloud Dance, his realm is the same as that of Cloud Dance. How can he not beat these blood corpses? Small stinky hands into sharp claws, between the sharp pan cold light. Although it can't be turned into Numenon, it's okay to make a part of the body become animal. The sharp claw is no less than the weapon of Mu Xiaoming. You know, the best weapons are all made of a part of the body of Warcraft. How can the advanced Warcraft compare with the claws of pure-blood demon Huang? Phoenix? Blood corpses also have extraordinary insight. See small stinky animal claw light out, suddenly someone sharp eyes to see the small stinky body. But even so, they dare not delay. As time goes on, more and more of them become human. What changes with it is their strength. The more they tend to be human, the less their ability to belong to blood corpses will be, and the weaker they will be. Therefore, in any case, they should seize all the time to deal with these two people, otherwise the chance of victory will only be smaller and smaller. No matter what phoenix or chicken, I'll kill them all. Blood Corpse King also saw the race of Small Stink, but still domineering said. This word fell in the ear of Small Stink, instantly ignited the anger of pure-blood demon Huang. You are the chicken. I can't even recognize my noble blood. I'm blind. Damn it, I have to destroy you. Pure-blood demon Huang's dignity can't be violated. Small Stinky clean holding a pair of claws to the blood corpses. Every time the claws collided with the blood corpse's weapon, a flash of fire would appear, and the sound of bang and bang would sound like a metal collision. Even if we were dealing with several blood corpses at the same time, we still didn't fall behind. Hello. Be careful, they should all have their own special effects. Mu Xiaoming didn't know the name of Xiao Chou, so he had to shout, hello, and he was worried. Looking at Xiao Smelly's angry appearance, I'm worried that he's in a mess. I see. Little Stink grunted. Although he didn't like him to call himself that, he really didn't want him to know that his name was Xiao Chou. He would rather the man in black clothes call himself, hello. Anyway, he didn't know his name either. More than a dozen figures stand together, although there is no dazzling brilliance, but everywhere is full of danger. It's like a fight between martial arts experts. In this narrow space, everyone's ability of close combat has been brought into full play. The sound of sonorous resounds through the secret road, just like the clank of thousands of horses, which is extremely dangerous. How can these blood corpses be completely different from those before? Small Stinky frowned and said, can't reveal the body, for his strength greatly discount. Therefore, it was very difficult to deal with these blood corpses. After taking a breath, he immediately began to complain. The former blood corpse? A blood corpse sneered. Our Blood Corpse clan can be divided into several levels. How can those low-level blood corpses compare with us? Said here, the Blood Corpse's eyes flashed a touch of pride. In the Blood Corpse clan, their status is comparable to that of emperors and generals in the world. They are superior and naturally do not want to be associated with those low-level blood corpses. But now this scene, and then make such expressions, will only let the little stink feel very disgusted. Cut, say as if you are very noble, anyway, are all blood corpses, in the end is not the same as destroyed? Little Stinky said with a sneer, with deep contempt in his eyes. You the bloody corpse was enraged instantly, and the pupil color that had recovered turned red again, as if he had been greatly humiliated. However, Little Stink is still not going to let go. What are you doing? Is that right? All blood corpses are the same abominable, so pay attention to the whole clan being destroyed. After today, even if you hide here, you will be found and found out. Ah! Blood Corpse shrieks. The big knife on the hand looks to the small Stink crazily. The shrill voice was very sharp. Go to die. Hateful human beings. It's all you. It's all you. The blood corpses attacked even more fiercely, as if they could return to their former glory as long as they killed Xiao Chou and Xiao Chou, but they forgot that they did not treat themselves as human beings when they said this. Be careful. A bloody corpse attacked from behind. Mu Xiuming noticed it with sharp eyes. He was in a flash. Regardless of the fact that there were several blood corpses on his side, he quickly stepped forward and went up with the sword in his hand. With a bang, Mu Xiuming stepped back. At the same time, the other attacks behind him had already arrived, and Mu Xiuming quickly dodged the past, which could be avoided. The bloody corpse who attacked Xiao Stink failed in one attack, and then he cut it off to Xia Stink's shoulder. Xiao Stink turned around and grabbed it with cold claws. With a bang, the weapon of the bloody corpse was cut in two. This is a weapon made of excellent rhinoceros horn. How can you? The blood corpse looks at the upper part of the hand to become the weapon of two half, not from of a burst of heartache. At the beginning, he wasted a lot of energy in order to get this weapon. He thought he could accompany him for a long time, but he didn't expect that he was just split by Little Stink. Rhinoceros horn? Cut, is that great? Small Stinky one-faced disdains of say, lifted to lift own claw. This emperor's claw is the most fierce. Little Stinky words haven't finished. One side suddenly a fire whip pocket head split down. I've been with Cloud Dance for a long time, and I'm a Warcraft of fire attribute, so I'm very sensitive to fire attribute. Phew! As soon as he twisted, he flashed to one side before the whip fell. He turned to look at the bloody corpse with the whip. Her face was red and white, but her eyes were very beautiful. What do you love about weapons now? Kill him, take his paws and make a better weapon. The female blood corpse said a word, immediately let the blood corpse of before play spirit. Good. Take the phoenix's paw as a weapon. Blood corpse strange said with a smile, looking at the small stinky eyes very unfriendly. Small smelly eyes slightly heavy coldly said, want to take my paw as a weapon? It also depends on whether you have the ability. After that, he rushed forward again and fought with the blood corpses. At Mu Xiuming on the other side, a long sword swung fast. Although there was no summoner to help, the melee skill that could draw with Yunwu was not bad. It's natural to deal with these blood corpses. From time to time, we should also pay attention to whether there are blood corpses going deep into the secret passage. We should also pay attention to whether the little stink is busy. By the way, we can give a voice to remind them twice, looking at the overall situation. There are 10 blood corpses, each of which is the strongest expert in the Blood Corpse clan, including the Blood Corpse King. Each of them was faced with 5 blood corpses. At the beginning, they had some difficulty, but the more they got to the back, they felt comfortable. They both thought it was just because they knew how to attack effectively and didn't notice anything. The blood corpses were more and more difficult, and there were many wounds on them gradually. Although it's not fatal, it's very hard for them who have felt pain for many years, because the pain on their body makes their actions dull. Finally, the sword passed over the neck of a bloody corpse. Puff, the blood spurted out, a blood corpse heavily fell on the ground, can no longer recover, and the red and white body, also in an instant back to the human body. You the blood corpse king stares at Mu Xiaoming fiercely, with incomparable anger in his heart. These are the last blood corpses of the Blood Corpse clan. I thought I could kill these two people without any effort, but I didn't expect that I would die in their hands so soon. What's the matter? Mu Xiaoming opened his eyes innocently and asked, "Can't you do it? It's just a contest." A contest? Then why do you have to kill me? I thought I could kill it. Mu Xiaoming looked innocent, as if he was just a child who did something wrong, but he vomited the blood directly. They were just angry for a moment. They felt sorry for the death of a bloody corpse, but this Mu Xiaoming said it directly. Well, don't be proud of yourself, the Blood Corpse king hums coldly and says to Mu Xiaoming, "It's just a blood corpse. It's too early for you to win." After that, the weapon in his hand hit Mu Xiaoming again. Mu Xiaoming dodged to one side with a flash of his body. At the same time, he picked the long sword lightly in his hand and resolved all the successive attacks. I can't do it. The more you fight, the braver you are. Why are you all getting older and weaker? Is that true of all blood corpses? Or are you the only ones? Have you been a high-level member of the Blood Corpse clan for too long? Mu Xiaoming said with a smile. It didn't look like a fight at all. The speaker has no intention, the listener has intention. Listen to Mu Xiaoming say such words, several blood corpses in the presence of the heart at the same time, clatter, a sound, like his secret was found in general. At the same time, the first thought that surged into my heart was not guilty, but, this person must die. Bloody corpse. How long has it been since you brushed your teeth? It stinks. Small stink a shout, frowned to say. The bloody corpse opened its mouth to him, as if it wanted to eat him. Phoenix blood, if you can drink it, are you worried about the lack of energy? But before the blood corpse came near, little Stink asked about the stench in the blood corpse's mouth. Now he kicked him out mercilessly and left a word of disgust. The bloody corpse screamed miserably and was directly kicked out by this kick. It hit the wall of the secret road heavily and then fell to the ground heavily. Well, what a dirty race. Small Stink disgusted said, but suddenly feel kick people also quite cool, and even some eager to try. The blood corpse people always eat raw meat and drink blood, and they never wash their teeth. Naturally, they have bad breath, but no one dares to say it. When human beings are afraid, who will pay attention to halitosis? It's just a little stink, because a blood-sucking corpse directly speaks out halitosis. Stinking Phoenix. Don't be too proud. Say we have bad breath. I think you are the smelliest. Another bloody corpse said viciously. Then directly rushed up, the weapon on the hand to the small Stinky head directly cut up. Little Stinky didn't bother to pay attention to him. He twisted his body, looked for a tricky angle, kicked hard, and kicked a bloody corpse out again. Do I stink the most? You can't smell it? Little Stinky said haughtily. The blood corpses gnash their teeth and rush up one by one. The little Stink kicks off one by one. After kicking off, he rushes up again. It's a lot of fun. I'll kick you to death. Small Stink deftly dodged an attack, raised his foot and kicked the blood corpse's stomach, but as soon as he kicked out, he heard Mu Xiaoming's voice. Hello. No, Mu Xiaoming cried in panic. The direction of flying out was the depth of the secret road. However, it's too late. Little Stink has a good time. Why can't he kick it? He directly kicked the blood corpse to the depth of the secret road. Until the blood corpse landed, he suddenly realized that he was in trouble. Small Stink quickly want to rush up, but behind a fire whip attack again. Small Stink in the heart anew, to that female blood corpse horizontal eyebrow cold shout away. Got a fire whip to be great. I think it's very powerful, right? I'll let you know whose fire is more serious now. Having said that, a small mouth, a small touch of pure yang directly spit out from the mouth, although only a wisp, but instantly will be filled with hot air in the secret road. What is this? Several blood corpses felt the temperature of the fire and cried out in shock. Small Stink ignored them, leaving a touch of pure yang, then directly toward the depths of the rush. There's another one here. The blood corpse who was kicked out was dizzy. If it was brought back immediately, it would not be so. However, it's a pity that both Mu Xiaoming and Xiao Chou are caught in action. When Xiao Chou comes here, the blood corpse has found the existence of cloud dance. Small Stinky Faces Sink, directly rushed forward, Beast Claw a wave, directly cut off the blood corpse's neck. With a puff, sound, blood gushed out and dyed the mountain wall of the secret road red. Mu Xiaoming's face is also very, this phoenix, how don't you know to pay attention to it? Oh, and humans? After hearing this, the king of blood corpse did not rush to attack. As soon as he withdrew, he watched Mu Xiaoming being entangled by other blood corpses and said, "It seems that that person is what you want to protect. What's wrong with her? Is it hurt? Or a breakthrough? Are you all protecting the law for her? Afraid she'll be disturbed?" Every time the king of blood corpse said a word, Mu Xiaoming's face sank, because what the king of blood corpse said was right. Hey, I'm really curious. Why don't I go and have a look?" Said, the blood corpse king's figure moves, flies directly toward inside. "I see who can pass." Small Stink a roar, is he creates the disaster by him to carry. Red as blood flame from the body, Small Stink cold looking at the rushing blood corpse king. The flame under his control into a wall of fire, directly bet on the secret road thoroughly. The scorching high temperature announced the difficulty of the flame. If it wasn't for the Small Stink's intentional control, I was afraid that the stones in the secret passage would melt. "Wanna go?" "Sure. As long as you are not afraid of being turned into a roast pig," Little Stink said coldly, with a serious look on his face. It seems that Xiao Chou, who is coquettish to Yunwu in peacetime, is not a person at all. At this time he seems to be back to the pure blood demon Huang who was in the Phoenix family, shouldering heavy responsibilities and extremely important. Blood corpse king brow jump, that flame just looking at then very fierce. But even so, intuition tells him that the people in the deep are their only chance to win. If they can't pass, then they are doomed to lose here. But it's obviously impossible to break through. You have a great flame. The blood corpse king stands in front of the Little Stink, does not show any comfort. On the contrary, he says to the Little Stink, "Small Stinky brow a pick, proud answer, do you say?" The blood corpse king's heart sank, but he didn't believe it on his face. He said coldly, "I don't think so. All the blood corpses are entangled with Mu Xiaoming so that he can't come to help, but in the face of a Little Stinky phoenix, the blood corpse king feels that he always has some chances of winning. Not so good. Small Stink this time, but not be deceived. That you beat me first, just have the qualification to try in the end, fierce not fierce." Having said that, a pair of claws directly raised, toward the blood corpse king rushed up. In the face of the blood corpse king, the pressure of the Little Stink suddenly reduced a lot, even if the blood corpse king's strength is much higher than other blood corpses, but it is also easier than dealing with smart blood corpses. The king of the blood corpse rushed up fearlessly. He saw a lot of the fight between the Little Stink and the blood corpse just now. Seeing that Xiao Smelly hadn't even won a bloody corpse for a long time, he thought that his strength was not so good, and he was so garrulous that he certainly had no ability. But did not expect, two people on a pair, Small Stink even directly occupy the upper hand. The blood corpse king wanted to cry without tears, but he had to fight hard. He looked at the wall of fire from time to time, and his body became weaker and weaker. If it goes on like this, I'm afraid he will die directly in the hands of Little Stinky without waiting for him to cross the wall of fire. The king of blood? I thought it was very powerful. That's all Little Stinky said with a sneer. Even if it is so arrogant and delicate to say, the face is no longer the previous childish. Blood corpse king's face is very ugly, but also know that Little Stink is telling the truth. Now his strength is only half of the heyday, and is still declining. How could it be so powerful? But this must not be said, even if the other party finds something, they cannot say it, otherwise what if they fight a protracted war? For today's sake, We still need to find out the people behind the wall of fire. Blood Corpse King in the mind of idea continuously move, on the face of a pair of high cold appearance, don't talk more with small stink. Didn't you talk a lot just now? Why don't you talk now? Are you tired? Little Stinky Mouth raised a smile and said to the Blood Corpse King, a friendly look. The Blood Corpse King's face was instantly gloomy. Seeing the strength getting worse and worse, finally, the King of Blood Corpse decided to wait. If you wait any longer, you can't find a way to break through the wall of fire. You'd better rush in directly. If you can't rush in, you'll die. But if you don't rush in, you'll die. Maybe you've passed. So think, Blood Corpse King. A twist body broke away from the small stink of entanglement directly toward the wall of fire. Small Stink originally wanted to continue to chase, but a look at the direction of the Blood Corpse King, immediately holding his arm, ready to stay in place to watch him. Want to go through Pure Yang? It seems that the Blood Corpse King is impatient. The King of Blood Corpse only focuses on running to the fire. Where can he notice the reaction of the little stink behind him? When he ran to the front of the firewall and felt the hot breath on the firewall, the Blood Corpse King had some hesitation in his heart. But now, how can we still hesitate? At present, the Blood Corpse King's heart, a ruthless, will directly drill into. But right here, the bloody wall of fire suddenly moved. Not far behind, Xiao Chou looks at Huqiang with surprise, but Mu Xiuming, whose back is opposite, can't see Xiao Chou's reaction. As soon as he saw the wall of fire, he thought it was the little stink that had made a mistake again. He cried out, "Hello! Stop him! What are you doing standing up for?" This words immediately got small stinky white eyes. Does the power of his pure yang still need to be questioned? But hearing this, the King of the Blood Corpse thought it was a mistake. He immediately exclaimed, "Heaven helps me too," and then he went in, instantly submerged in the glory of blood red. They are tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.